Okay, so good afternoon. We are here with the toss of the second game, which will be played in the Karachi Gymkhana today, and it will be played between West Indies and Canada. I have both the captains here, along with the match referee, Mr. Babar Basharat. And now we're gonna flip up the coin. Heads the call, and it's heads. Canada, they won the toss. Mohammad Ramzan. So what you're gonna do first?
Well, we're going to bat first. It looked like a batting paradise.
Obviously, it looked like batting paradise, but in the last game, as we have seen here, that was a little bit of a jibbery.
Yeah, that was a different pitch. This is a different pitch right here. So I looked at it. So it looks very good.
Although it's a very sunny weather today, and it can be a little difficult here because of the humid and the hot weather.
Yeah, it can be, but we are ready for it.
So how much runs are you aiming for? You're going to put up?
We're going to just about over 160 we're aiming. So, yeah.
160 are aiming. So, okay, congratulations for the toss, and we'll be heading over towards the game. And best of luck to you. Thank you very much. So now there's a friendly gesture going on between both the captains, Mr. Lawrence and Mr. Mohammad Ramzan. The captains. Now we're going to have the word with the captain of West Indies. Sir, although if you would have won the toss, what you have done first?
I probably would have batted first too, but it's a new wicket. It's not the one from this morning, so we feel like it's going to be an even wicket. So it's just about getting our plans right, whether we bat or bowl first, and just restrict the opposition to a total that we can chase.
What do you think that which will be the good tool to be restricted on so that it will create ease for you?
I think we'd be happy chasing 140, 150 on this wicket. It is a small outfield. We played here, one of the practice games here, so you're quite familiar with this ground. So anything with 140, 150, as we get wickets, we will reassess the total.
Although you have played the warm-up matches here as well, and you have played the high-scoring game as well.
We have, and we've seen in that particular game the big total was chased on quite easily. So that's at the back of our mind. So it's quite important that we try and restrict the opposition to something we can chase.
And what do you think about the weather?
Oh, it's lovely weather here in Karachi. We love it. It's just quite similar back to the Caribbean, so just like home.
Oh, that will be like a similar conditions for you. Thank you so much, sir. So this was the captain of West Indies, Mr. Lawrence. And now this is the report from the toss that Canada, they have won the toss and elected to bat first.
We stand on guard for thee. us here to this region, but through it all, we have risen above. Through our flannel nights, flashing their willow and leather, these keepers of the flame must feel our undying love. This Caribbean nation is rising fast, a sunbeam cutting through a clouded past. A passion fills the world like a raging fire. As the sun shines, you know we can take it higher. Let every voice be raised. Everybody give praise. Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forever. Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forevermore.
Right, welcome to you from Karachi Gymkhana Stadium. In fact, I'm staying just next door to uh, the ground down here in Karachi Gymkhana, as I mentioned. And we're off to the Over-40 2025 tournament officially. And at the moment, what you're looking at outside on the field, the West Indies coming up against Canada in the inaugural game or the inaugural Over-40 tournament. And so we'd like to welcome you. My name is Naeem Chan from the West Indies. I'm going to be keeping your company during the course of this tournament. And I'm thankful also to all the boys who have welcomed me in the commentary box here. So good morning, hazy atmosphere, lovely buildings sprawling on the landscape, and quite a pretty sight here. So Canada winning the toss, electing to bat first. We had a little look at the pitch earlier this morning, and these are the two teams for you. And Canada on your left, the West Indies on your right, and the Canada winning the toss and batting first. The two umpires out there are umpires Vilma Jones, she's all the way from South Africa, and Daryl O'Sullivan, he's from Australia. Had an earlier game this morning, Zimbabwe against the rest of the world, and the rest of the world winning that game. They batted first, made 134. Zimbabwe replied with 80 for 8 at the end of their allotted 20 overs. So the Gymkhana Stadium here in Karachi, ready to start the West Indies versus Canada. We expect a great game here today. Looks like Leroy Babb is going to be opening the bowling for the West Indies. The female that you're seeing here from the official end, that's the umpire. That's Vilma Jones for you. Quite a pleasant character. Had a lot of interaction with her over the past few days. Always smiling, cheering, hugging. Quite a pleasant South African. So we want to say good morning to the beautiful people of South Africa, and to let you know that you're being represented here by Vilma Jones. So Canada will be taking first strike. And for those people who have not been following the tournament, of course, there are some 5 venues in Karachi hosting this inaugural Over-40 2025 tournament. Over-40, that is. So there are the various categories. They've been the over-50, over-60. May I just let you in on this, that they're planning also to go to the over-60 and over-70. And they're hoping to reach over-80. I'm not sure how that is going to be played out. But certainly it's going to have some measure. You've got to be intense and extremely fit. I saw the president of the IMC. He's from Australia. And here are the 2 batsmen coming out. Yeah, Mr. Sterling is the president, and he was saying he might even be contesting the very senior category in this particular game tournament. So we are on our way. The West Indies all decked out in their uniforms, and the Canadians going into bat. 2 openers there, just heading to the crease. Kind of hazy atmosphere. It's a nice sunshine in the background, but Karachi's noted for sort of very dusty kind of atmosphere, I guess from all the deserts in the Middle East. We landed in another country, and it was all pretty murky atmosphere, but it's no threat of rain really. It's just that it could be all sand and construction that's happening. So Abu Dhabi, and there's where we came in first from the United States, and then all the way some 13 hours flight to get to Abu Dhabi, and then another 2 hours. So we were like mentally wrecked when we arrived here, kind of jet lagged. Here's our first delivery. Larry Babb. just drifting outside the line of the off stump. I had a little look at the pitch. This is not the pitch that was used earlier this morning. That's the game between Zimbabwe and the rest of the world. It's just to your left, that pitch was used. So, no, I'm sorry, I think that's some correction. The pitch on your right. So there's another pitch here struck on the pad. Question being asked. But you look at the body language of the West Indian players. The shout was not pretty vociferous. So, you know, it's kind of half-hearted. Larry Babb out of Barbados, left arm medium slow. He's had 2 60s in the practice matches. He's in pretty good form as well. Peeling off the top part of the bat. Danish and Amin opening the batting. There's another Amin in the West Indies squad. He's had the distinction of playing all the categories so far played, over 40, over 50, and the over 60 as well. Big drive outside the off stump. Catch taken. Canada losing their first wicket. Big, expansive off drive. Peeling off the bat. There was a man down at the sweeper position that took the catch. So, first wicket going down. Not a good start here for Canada. Got a replay now. Safe babysitter catch. And safely into the hands of Atwell, feeling down at cover. So Dinesh goes. Canada losing their first wicket in the first over. Power play number 1. 4 deliveries gone, so the West Indies have got reasons to celebrate out there. Dinesh Bashir not getting off the mark. But I had a little look at the pitch, and these pitches apparently too, because they're constantly being played on, it's difficult for maintenance. You can see some marks, pegs and spikes. So I think the batsmen are not allowed to bat with spikes. They've got to use flat shoe. Testing time here for Canada. Sabir will join Amin in quite difficult circumstances. So the West Indies lost their practice games. So coming into this game, although I see that in the camp they're pretty high in spirits, but for those countries living very close to Pakistan and to Karachi, would have had the luxury of not getting into jet lags and all of that. But I dare say that we had quite an awful, lengthy journey. I'm all the way in the West Indies from Guyana, so that took me like 5 hours to get to JFK. Then, of course, you've got to queue up at the airports. Another 15 hours to get to Abu Dhabi. Just wide outside the off stump. I wonder whether the umpire will call wide. And from Abu Dhabi to get to Karachi, that's another maybe 2 hours and over. So the duration of the flying time is pretty extensive. Bab has had, 4 dot balls and a wicket also. Wide signal by the umpire. I'm being joined actually in the commentary box by Miss, how do I get? Nuresh. Well, if you can do commentaries as pretty as you are, then I guess you'll be a great commentator. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
I
Right
think
back
it's
to you.
afternoon, right?
Yeah, it's afternoon almost. Thank you so much.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you been doing this before?
Yeah, I'm Pakistan's youngest PCB accredited sports journalist, presenter, and commentator.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long have you been into this kind of stuff?
I'm pretty young, but at this young age, I've had an extensive experience. I've covered almost 5 to 6 tournaments this year. 2 of them were from the PCB itself.
I don't have more questions for you. You're pretty good. Well, we bring you the people of Karachi in particular, and the 11 countries, author countries outside of Pakistan participating in this tournament. I bring you lots of love and greetings and warm felicitations from the West Indies.
Right back at you. And we're all very excited to welcome you all here. We had a very enthusiastic opening ceremony yesterday, which everyone almost enjoyed, and we're all very passionate when it comes to representing our city, our country.
Over number 2, about to be started, Mitchell Holzer. He's from the British Virgin Islands. Canada with their back against the wall a little bit here. He's seaming and hoping to slant it outside that off stick. If you notice that they've got a solitary slip.
And that's a beautiful Karachi Gymkhana right there. The sun.
Yeah, you've got a pool at the back, right?
Yeah, it's a multi-purpose place, primarily for athletics. And the sun is gleaming. Sun is, shining brightly all over Karachi.
Nice shot. Not getting the gap. But tell me something about this club. I understand you've got to wait 50, 60 years before you get membership. That's how long your application is pending. So I want to know, if I have a kid and or my wife is pregnant, I've got to enroll that kid beforehand. Beaten outside the off stump, prodding forward, searching, and Metal Holzer gets the ball to move in the air appreciably.
Yeah, and the good thing about this pitch is that, I won't say it's a good thing, a bit peculiar thing about this pitch is that it's kind of mirroring the one that's there in Harare, Zimbabwe, as we saw in the first match that was played.
I don't think he's pretty sure about that one. Amin just coming across and getting the inside part of the bat and ballooned away out in the offside.
All I know is that the Kookaburra in the first match was having a really good time at the pitch because they were getting along so well.
Nice looking shot, again not finding the gap. I think the Canadians would be well advised in number 2, and you just have got a solitary run and a solitary wicket. So if you can't hit the ball away, you've got to just pace it, getting into gaps, 1s and 2s. The wide wasn't called simply because the batsman went off after the ball. So his body automatically comes closer to the object, which is the ball. And in so doing, the space between the ball and the bat becomes closer, and it doesn't qualify for a wide.
Rightly said. And the pitch was behaving very peculiar earlier on. When we covered the first match, we were expecting little to no support for the spinners on this pitch, but that didn't turn out to be the case because we witnessed Simon Surge picking up 4 wickets of the inaugural match of this tournament, including a hat-trick.
There's several other matches being played today at the National Stadium. Call some of the venues' names.
We have the National Stadium, South End Club, and we have Karachi Gymkhana, and Moeen Khan Academy, NBP Sports Complex. These are only some of the venues out there. Larry Babb is attacking the stumps, and he's perfectly maintaining that line and length. That's the key. That's the key. Utilization, proper utilization of power play brings you 50 to 60% in the game, and the rest is rest pretty much matters on how well you perform under pressure, how resilient you are, and the redemption that you show.
Just missing that outside edge. You see there that Sabir, that ball drifting and slanted across the right-hander. I'm trying to look at the state of the pitch. The bounce up to now seems quite even, but I just get the distinct impression that this pitch is kind of bone dry, and that's why, quite possibly, that's why Canada opted to bat first. Slashed into the offside, off for the single very quickly, and that's exactly what you have to do. Now, there are some cardinal sins in the T20 format, and one is if you can restrict the amount of no balls you send down, you must get a lot of dot balls against the batting side, restrict wides and overthrows, because you would appreciate this format of the game, a solitary run comes down to a super over.
Yeah, totally.
So you've got to hustle out there.
Totally. And the West Indies would be pretty satisfied with the current run rate that there is. And they're making full use of the power play so far. They've only conceded 2 runs at the expense of a wicket.
Again, slashing outside the off stump, not making contact. Amin searching. There's not a lot of movement in the air, so I'm pretty surprised that he's not connecting.
I had a chat with one of the players from West Indies earlier on. They were looking to win the toss and bat first on this field, on this pitch as well.
End of the over. 2 for the loss of 1. 3 overs gone. Beautiful Karachi there. Just taking some pictures actually from my hotel. The sprawling, beautiful landscape, nice Gymkhana landscape, and not only the landscape, I'm pretty impressed with the outfield, still pretty green, lush green. Beautiful city of Karachi. I was looking up to see if I can find some things about Karachi. The population size.
And the sea.
Pardon me?
And the sea.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our hallmark, I would say, venue out there. We recommend everyone to go and visit Seaview once. And the biryani. You cannot exempt that. That's our signature food as well. We're known for biryani all over Pakistan. Have you had one yet?
I've eaten so much of, what's the name again?
Biryani.
Biryani.
Biryani, yeah.
Okay. I've eaten so much, I got constipated actually. So I think I got to find another. It was marvelous. Last night the boys were all boasting at the governor's house.
My second recommendation to you would be the tikka.
I also noticed, I'll have you on that after this delivery. Again, outside the off stump. I noticed, it seems to me, thousands of motorcycles operating. In my country, you hardly see a motorcycle, but I see them by the thousands. Is that a main source of transportation?
Yeah, it's a source of transportation for the ordinary people. So, yeah.
I guess the roads are pretty congested, so it's more convenient. Again, Sabir as well as Amin, they're searching and not making contact. You've got to make contact, or else, unless it's a wide, down the leg side or down the offside. But connection is absolutely important because you've got to keep the scoreboard ticking. Your back is against the wall, but you've got to turn it over somehow or the other.
Yeah, and that amplifies the importance of running between the wickets and rotating the strike.
Now that's a wide signal this time. This is by umpire Daryl O'Sullivan. He's all the way from Australia. And his colleague umpire, that's a female, Vilma Jones, all the way from South Africa. That one went very close. That was the one that came back to the right-hander. And not a coat of varnish there. He might have gotten an edge. Some overthrows resulting.
That is how you read the pitch. You incorporate some versatility in your bowling. The key so far that has, resulted in a breakthrough for teams so far is attacking the stumps and incorporating some versatility in the bowling. That was a beautiful delivery, a bit towards the off stump, but I get what Niels Holzer was attempting to do there. He was attempting to get that outside edge from Sabir.
Nourish Khan, glad to be sitting in the commentary box with you. It's just that I can't boast that I'm young. I've been around this for about 40 years, so that's a pretty long time in the West Indies.
It's an honor for me to be commentating alongside you, and it was fumbled in the field. We're honored to be, I would say, I'm honestly really inspired by you, and it's an honor for me to be sharing the commentary box with you.
You look like you're just out of school, Nourish. Just out of school?
I get that a lot, but no. I am young though, but I've achieved a lot at this young age.
Matthew Holzer. Now look at the bottom of that over under his name. Look at the dot balls. So many. Now that's one of the cardinal sins I was talking about in this format of the game. It's 20 overs. The more dot balls that are registered against the bowling, you're committing a sin almost. In the West Indies, Nourish, there is a form now that all Caribbean countries have to do and fill up. Every single batsman or batter, whether it's female cricket, how many dot balls in all in the year? You've batted 10 times. How many runs did you make? But how many dot balls did you face? Because in as much as you're not scoring, you're conceding and allowing the bowling side to be champs.
That's actually a very smart consideration, I'd say, because if I talk about modern day cricket, that demands that you reduce the number of dot balls that you're playing. And the thing about veterans cricket, veterans World Cup that we're seeing, that we're witnessing, is the fact that I'm seeing a blend of the 90s cricket into the modern day cricket. Because Fayaz and I were just talking about a few minutes ago about how cricket has changed over the years. And I'll continue right after this delivery.
That was very close. I'm not certain. We'd wait on a signal from the umpire to find out exactly if there was an edge. So there was by signal, so no edge.
It was mere inches away, though. So as I was discussing earlier, we were just discussing how how cricket has changed over the years. I mean, the time when these legends, they used to play back in the 90s or early 2000s, things were a bit different. At that time, an economy of 3 or 4 was considered a good one. Now, modern day cricket has really shifted gears, and now an economy of 6 or 7 is even considered good, as a matter of fact. So it's heartwarming, and for some, it can be a difficult change to accept as well. But the bottom line is that the importance of death overs increases profoundly. You utilize, and so does the importance of power play. As a matter of fact, you utilize the power play, utilize the death overs, and you're good to go.
That will be a wide called by Vilma Jones. Yes, everything has changed so dramatically. I had the distinct pleasure. Your country is such a great country, cricketing country, like the West Indies, especially in the former years. But I've had opportunities to describe some of your greatest cricketers, and most of them were bowlers down the ground. That's going to go across, and as far as I remember, this is going to be the first boundary, pitched into that sweet spot, and shifting gears there. I mean, coming off the mark, actually. After 10 deliveries, he has come off the mark. But just coming back to Wakar Yunus and Wasim Akram, was absolute delight for me to have been having the opportunity to describe them. I didn't get to describe Imran Khan. He was a bit earlier. And, of course, some of your great batsmen as well. Now, Shoaib Akhtar, I had the opportunity to describe him. I'll never forget those times. High up, on the bounce, getting the meat of the bat. There's a man out there.
Yeah, and right back at you in terms of West Indies. We have had some great legends from West Indies. Chris Gayle, the unmatched hero, Brian Lara. So, I mean, I'm yet to be at that point, but it's one of my dreams to, either share the commentary box with one of them, or, just commentate in a match that they're playing in.
But, if you were interviewing me and ask what is the nicest, I'll come back to that, outside opening the face of the bat, that was along the ground, the happiest moments for me, I would say, it was to describe the same names that I called. And for batting, Brian Lara stands out for me. He's all just about poetry. And the thing is, when you do it with the current players, in your case, you don't know how special it is until several years after.
Right back at
and
you.
they retire.
Right back at you. That's a beautiful shot. Found a gap, but the fielder was there. And that's the thing about the West Indian side. They've been on top with their fielding. And they're making full use of their power play. That gets you off the mark, at least maybe not off the mark, but it brings you 50 to 60% in the game. The rest depends on how well you utilize the death overs, how well you perform under pressure, and the decisions that in a nutshell, how well you bounce back from the setbacks that you face. They're having a discussion, West Indian players, and you got to give credit to the West Indian captain. I was discussing a couple of minutes ago. I had a chat with one of the West Indian players, and we just had a quick chat on how the pitch was behaving and all. He was very, he was all business. He just wanted to know about the technicalities of the pitch so he could, prepare in advance. So that is what happens when you actually do your homework. End of the fifth over. Canada are at 12 for the loss of 1.
So Mittelholzer will come on back. As I said before, he's from the British Virgin Islands, playing for the West Indies. Missing again and again and again. It has been happening so often with the Canadian batsmen.
When it's West Indies you're facing as a batter, you have very limited choices in terms of the risks that you could take. You could either survive those bowlers because the bounces that come, I'll continue this. That was bowled a bit off towards the fifth stump, the off stump.
Let me just come back with the point of the wide ball. The batsman again, you see he was drifting towards the ball, outside the off stick. And that is why the umpire did not call a wide.
Absolutely. And I think that was did on purpose by Mittelholzer. He's constantly in the hope of finding that outside edge. And
in the air, No one is there actually. Deeper. And when you say looking back, you're talking about those legends, the Michael Holdings, and you weren't quite born, were you?
Yeah, but I've heard.
You've heard.
Yeah.
Just like what you've seen
I
from
was born.
Wazim Akram and Wakar Yunus and Shoaib Akhtar, it's the same kind of caliber that they had.
Yeah, but I've heard about Brian Lara. I've watched Chris Gill. So, and like in my time, we have legends like Shahid Afridi. I grew up watching Shahid Afridi. Absolute fan, and we're still looking forward to continue after this delivery, watching him play. That was an excellent delivery. It was perfect utilization of the line and length, and I really particularly loved how the in swing was utilized. Coming back at my point, so I grew up watching Shahid Afridi, and I grew up watching Chris Gale, and Chris Gale, I used to call him Chris Gale 11 because I still remember the 2019 World Cup when Pakistan, had a very disappointing defeat, and it was all a matter of bouncers and short pitch balls.
Down the track, this might carry towards the boundary, it does. Now, for the first time, and this is not very frequently that you see that a Canadian coming down, reaching the ball, getting hold of it and striking. Good shot.
Footwork, timing, judging the ball, and right shot selection are pretty much the ingredients that get you over the line. It's the last delivery before the power play ends.
I've noticed from JFK, we landed in Abu Dhabi. I'll just come back to that a little bit in a while. Well played, covering the ball, not getting it to the boundary, but absolutely safe and well executed. We saw that actually it's like a blanket or a sheet, and it looks like dust. When we were going into Abu Dhabi, you could hardly see at the bottom when we were descending, and the same thing I'd seen here. So I'm wondering, it could have been the deserts around the Middle East, perhaps, dust, because sometimes the Sahara dust comes down all the way to the West Indies, and it's absolutely like this. It seems murky. You're seeing the sunshine, but it's like distant away, and that's what I've been seeing. That is noticeable. Since I've arrived in Karachi, the amount of motorcycles that I've seen, I think it's about millions of them in the country, I guess, or in the city. I've noticed that your cultures are quite different to us in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You hardly see women around, so I was pretty shocked when you came and tucked in beside me. So there are very few. So in the professional life, you have more men at work than women. Am I right?
Yes, but that's changing because it's the 21st century, so things are pretty much changing, and we're having more women especially in sports as well. For the first time in history, where if you know a bit about the Pakistan Super League, the senior manager of the Pakistan Super League is also a woman, and yeah, so she's the only woman in that managerial role. It's just an example of the many sectors that women are employed in. But in terms of sports, we still have, I feel like as a woman, we still have a long way to go before we achieve that gender equality thingy.
I'm very happy to hear that. What about your parliament? Do you have a lot of females in parliament?
We do actually. That in our parliament, our politics is a bit different than the way politics works all over the world. But we do have a good number of women who are advocating. If you remember, we have Benazir Bhutto as an example.
I think that was a calculated shot. Just inside out, lifting the ball, but not getting the kind of connection that can get it to the boundary. So I'm glad to hear that. I wish Karachi and Pakistan well. If there was a country where, in my hometown, when Pakistan comes to the West Indies, and that time I wasn't into the media, but you're so crowded. People sleep for nights outside the stands until the morning of the match. and then you're going through the legs of horses, horse guards. Those were tremendous times.
Attacking the stumps once again, but a bit before the stumps, it was aimed to target at the good length area. So, yeah, one thing about the Pakistani nation, if I were to summarize them, they're absolutely on top with their love for cricket. If there's one thing that unites us all, is cricket, despite everything that's going on.
I can see it actually, because the West Indies were in the nets a few mornings ago, and some youngsters from Pakistan. Down the pitch. Down the pitch. Connection made this time. I'd just wait on that signal from the umpire to see if it had crossed the boundary ropes. 6. Beautiful. That's the first expansive, extravagant shot coming out of the Canadian camp. That was pure charging, pure aggression. Beautiful.
Well, they're showing what this pitch actually is capable of, Canadian batters. And although it was a slow pitch early morning, now it's kind of coming down to be a batter's friendly pitch, and we might as well see some hard hitting later on. We can expect some hard hitting later on in this match as well. Partition building up between Amin and Sabir to 26 runs now.
Because they're doing exactly what the doctor orders, and that is to tickle it around the corner. You're going to get a loose ball here or there, and you can crash it away. But in the meantime, it's turning it around the corners and getting the ones and the twos. And the scoreboard eventually keeps moving, though it might be gradual, but it's moving.
That's the key, isn't it? Just to get runs on board and prevent the stagnancy of runs that there is. And I feel like coming back to the modern day cricket thingy, in modern day cricket, I think it's better if you just, run between the wickets, you rotate the strike. And I'll come back to it in a while. That was played beautifully inside edge, but it was mere inches away from hitting the stumps. Had it been a bit in the line, and Puran would have been a bit more mindful of the line and length, it would have ended things for Sabir. So as I was saying, running between the wickets and rotating the strike has a profound importance, especially in modern day cricket. Wait. It's so wide. Outside edge, and was the presence of mind wasn't really adopted well by the keeper, who was a little late in getting to that ball. That was really, really close. That was exceptionally close. Had it been a mere seconds early, the keeper, it would have gotten his hands on that ball, and it would have marked the end of Sabir's innings. Short innings, I'd say. And Canada are now 29 for 1 at the end of 7 overs. And I am rejoined by Fayaz Faisal here in the comms box.
Thank you so much, Nourish. Atwell now brought to bowl, yeah, and a few minutes ago we had Mr. Naim Chen with us. He's such a lovely heart. He was describing.
It's always a feat to share the commentary box with him.
Yeah, sure. And when you're sharing the commentary box with such people, you learn a lot. And then, obviously, he was much keen to know about Karachi, the culture of Pakistan, and he was discussing about the cricket earlier on, and then the modern cricket as well. And obviously, he was Antonel Atwell, the off-break right arm of West Indies. He's delivering it. And I was talking about the legends too. Towards the point, races away there. A little quicker.
Slow outfield again. It was slow outfield back then. It was slow outfield back now.
But the way he was sprinting to grab it, that became much in favor for West Indies.
Current run rate has now climbed to 4.36.
Once again, he's going towards the similar area because he knows he can find the gap there, but wasn't able to this time. Obviously, the fielding efforts are going great here by West Indies. He's still choked, Canada on 33.
I wouldn't call it choke. It's too early to for that.
Well, I can say I'm saying it that they choked in because if we talk about the power play matters a lot in T20 cricket. Obviously, in the end, if we talk about the death overs, those matter a lot as well. But the rhythm that is maintained and the rhythm which is made is all about the power play if you ace it.
That's modern day cricket for you, my friend. And that was an exceptional delivery out there. Wonderful stuff from Atwell. Attacks the stump just like that and targeted the middle stump. Got in. An exceptional swing there was.
Well, he targeted the stumps as well as the frustrations by the Canadian side. They were shifting up the gaze. They were going for a bigger one. And that greed of the run, basically, that gave a wicket to West Indies. Amin Khan departs on 22 of 21. Atwell with a wonderful delivery. Little magical here. Got a breakthrough. Second one down for Canada.
When it's the Windies you're facing, you gotta be wary of the bounce that there is. You cannot expect you cannot expect a single over to be monotonous. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Amin wasn't able to judge the ball in time, and Brownie points to Atwell for such a wonderful execution of the delivery.
Although in cricket, okay, so first Sultan Malik, the right-handed from Canada. Now he's going to bat. The new man into the action. Well, if I talk about the Windies, they've always been the backbone of cricket, I would say. Well, if I talk about 90s, and we have good names like Sir Vivian Richards, and then if I talk about the modern days, then we had Chris Gale, then DJ Bravo. Oh, I just love to watch DJ Bravo. That
Darren Sammy.
Darren Sammy, what a captain.
Ambassador of Peshawar Zalmi. He's literally the life of Pakistan. Not only West Indies.
Well,
And that was pitched outside the off stump.
Every single Pakistani, they loved Darren Sammy. He loved Pakistan too, and he was pretty much interested to get the the visa as well for the Pakistan, to get the citizenship. And we were also honored that we would have got a person like Darren Sammy. So end of the 8th, 34 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Nagamoto is the new bowler in for West Indies. So I was saying, when you see West Indies, you're facing, you got to be wary of the bounce that they. So you have two choices. You either, block their over, you survive their over, or you wait for a bad ball to come in your groove before attempting to hit it out of the park.
Yeah, just look at that. You have to be very precise while you are playing and you are facing the Windies bowlers. Mahindra Nagamoto, the off-break bowler. Once again, he was trying to just get away with that and wasn't able to. Not much of a damage. There's going to be a dot, and obviously those ovals, those dots, as Naeem Chan, he was saying that those dots are just like a sin. And obviously at this stage, doing dots can be a sin for Canada. Just on 34 for the loss of 2 wickets.
It can be, yeah, it can be a sin for Canada. I wouldn't say it will be a sin because while they do need runs, they also need to save their wickets. So they have to keep both things in mind.
But the singles and doubles, they are much required. They're struggling to just connect the ball with the bat.
Absolutely, and I think that is what the Canadian batters are looking forward to as well.
This time I plays it away. Straight to the fielder. They're still struggling to find the gaps. They're still struggling to just hit the ball with the bat. They're not. The body language is not that confident while playing the ball. Seems like it is becoming a difficulty. You can see the over timeline as well with a dot, then a single, and then 2 dots in a row.
And trust me, it's not a Morse code. It's the summary of the over. Dot, 1, dot, dot. It's not a Morse code.
Yeah, and this time it was just a little distance from the stumps there.
Would you look at that? How beautifully did he pitch it in line? The key is attacking the stumps. Once again, he was looking for that LBW, and he brings his over to an end with the expense of just 1 run. And what an exceptional over has it been for Phil.
This time drives it away towards the covers, although it surpassed the fielder there, but there was one fielder at the deep.
Slow outfield again.
That slow outfield and clever fielding, I would say, as well.
Well, that's something you would expect Windies to achieve.
Once
Again,
again,
targeted towards the point. And I see a clear distribution of the fielders that there are in the circle, outside the circle. So brownie points to the Windies captain for that, who is Lawrence Burnham.
so half of the innings is over. 38 for the loss of 2 wickets. The struggle for Canada continues. So Nagamoto once again brought to bowl. And if I talk about the bowlers of West Indies giving a very tough time. Flighted a little ahead today, and just look at that. Defines the gap. Finally, some runs. Rolls away towards the boundary. Sultan this time.
And that was punched away beautifully towards the offside. He targeted the deep point position and was able to execute it thanks to his judged the ball perfectly and then timed it away perfectly for a 4. That's the thing about Sultan. He's not played any unnecessary shot in these 10 balls that he has faced. And
But this time he was in a little hurry. That could have become a big problem here. That was a risky shot because that was an inside edge. That was struck. Oh, sweeps it away there. Finds the gap. But the ball is just moving towards defense. Clears the boundary rope there. There's going to be a boundary. Magnificently played there. Sweeps it away for a boundary. This time it was Sabir.
timed perfectly, found the gap and made no mistake in guiding the ball to defense.
It's now last delivery to go. 48 for the loss of 2 wickets. Well, after a long time, and I've seen in a single over 2 boundaries to the Windies. This time
You have the pitch to credit for that.
steps away this time just to find the gap, but there was a fielder in deep. Not be of a much damage. He's got a single on that delivery. 11 gone, 49 for 2.
The current run rate has now climbed over to 4.45. And the West Indian side is looking forward to get another wicket here.
Well, you can see the projected score. It's
Atwell's
now,
back. Atwell's back in action for West Indies.
well, it was below 80 and now it's raised to 90. Oh, taking a step ahead, and that became a big problem there. Saber with a suicide there, I would say. Gone.
Why would you do that when you have so many options left? That wasn't the shot to play, especially not on this delivery. You could have taken your time, judged the ball, judged the delivery, and then timed it. If you were so eager to play a shot, you could have just guided it slightly towards the offside in an attempt to buy you enough time to run between the wickets that could have at least gotten 1 or 2 runs on board. But his short innings of 15 runs comes to an end. And I'm only eager to witness how the Canadian side bounces back from here.
Just look at that. He came out, he just took his feet out there, and some great effort by the keeper, Devi.
A bit of presence of mind, just a bit of presence of mind would be enough to decode the strategy that Atwell has come up with.
And I remember one of the greatest keeper in the history of cricket, it's Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I just remember his words that you have to just snatch the ball and just put it towards the stump. Mohammad Ramzan, the right-handed, came to bat here. I was saying that Mahendra Singh Dhoni used to say that when you have the soft cotton in the gloves there, you have to just, you don't have to grab the ball first and then you have to go towards the stump. You have to just snatch it and just go towards the stump, and that is what is in much favor for the keepers, and that is what I saw here. With the lightning speed, just shattered up the stumps. Took the third blood as well.
So attempting to attack the stumps once again, but this time Ramzan was a bit lucky.
Look at the Atwell spell right now. Straight to the bowler. And his 2.2 overs conceded just 7 and taken 2 wickets as well. What a spell so far.
Would you look at that? Would you look at the in-swing that the delivery possessed? This is the third time that Atwell has done it. He did it before, he did it again, he did it yet again. And this time it was Ramzan who fell prey to his unplayable in-swing. And that was, again, bad shot selection. Why would you attempt it to hit it towards the leg side, especially of the delivery of someone like Atwell, who is just looking, just eyeing those stumps out there, and he departs without scoring any run. And Canada are in deep, deep trouble at this point.
That's the similar mistake Mohammad Ramzan did, and Atwell just got rid of him. Atwell is delivering it very nicely. If you can see that the overtime line with a wicket, dot, and then a wicket. It's just like a sandwich made.
Start with the wicket. You bring your wicket in the middle, and I'm eager to know how this, eager to look forward to how this over ends.
This is going to be a nightmare for Canada. It's 49 for 4 in the 12th over. Where are you going to stop? Sugit Karunaratne. I'm bad at spelling, but that's, by the way, a difficult name to pronounce. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrect.
Guided it towards the leg side again. Attacking the fifth stump on the offside once again, and Karunaratne guides it towards the offside.
finally some aggression seen from the side of a Canadian camp. This ends the 12th. 51 for the loss of 4 wickets.
Canada in deep trouble now.
This time rotates his body posture, plays it towards the fine leg. Taking a single there. Why do I feel like Sultan was hobbling here, Lil?
That was a bad delivery by Nagamoto. Had Sultan made full use of that delivery, it might would have resulted in another boundary for Team Canada. Just look at that economy. Mahendra Nagamoto, economy of 6.67. Perfect for the modern day cricket, just we were just talking about.
I had a smile when you said, just look at the economy. And when I saw it, that was really about the modern day cricket. That was 6.67. It's a good economy. Hasn't got any wicket yet. It's a little unfortunate for Nagamoto. But if I talk about the spell, that's really amazing. In 2.2 overs, 15. Quite economical. Just onto the middle stump. Plays it down the ground there. Ran for a single. Had to do a lot of business. Sprint away. Smashes it towards the offside there, and now they're more focused towards stretching up the game, going for singles and doubles in order to save the wickets, which is a quite nice strategy.
As long as you're not conceding dot balls, I think you're good to go.
Yeah, and if you're doing the dots, that will be a big problem here, because you don't have much overs left now. You're already... It's almost at the end of the 13th. Oh, that's up in the air. In the no man's land. There wasn't anybody there. Taking a single. So this ends the 13th, 59 for 4.
And we would be rejoined by the incredible Naeem Shen back in the commentary box.
Hi Fawaz, how are you doing?
I'm great, sir. How are you doing, and how's your tour so far in Pakistan?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it, enjoying your food. I think most of all, biryani rice. Yeah, I've had a lot of that, and some other stuff. I enjoy your beef. I expect a lot of good beef here too. All brothers and sisters from the Muslim fraternity. So the West Indies making further inroads, 59 for 4, and I think both of the batsmen, Sultan and Sujit, would have to try to not only keep their wickets, but it's also scoring airborne there for a little while.
Now it is becoming a difficulty for Canada, because if I look at the body language of the batters, it's not really much confidence. It seems like a little bit of a fear. Just look at the body posture there.
But I was just saying outside of the commentary box that in situations like these, I think a little more aggression would have been good, especially off the bowling of Mahendra Nagamoto, because he's so experienced, former test player. Big swipe, missing. But when you've got somebody at 60 runs 4 wickets down. I want to choke you. Killer instinct. I want to bring out that and put you on the psychological pressure.
Yeah, and presence of mind is much important in this game, and the way Atwell is delivering it, he's playing with the nerves.
Nice shot, backward point. Is that going to run towards the boundary? Yes, it does. Beautifully timed, and it was flat along the ground. Nice execution.
Finally a boundary after a long time, after the fall of 2 wickets, which is amazing there. And the way they're backing it up, Sultan, that's the second boundary from his bat. It's being like air for Canada right now.
Well, I don't think it's that bad that they can't retain their wickets. They've got to do 2 things here, retainance and also turning over that score until you get out of the rut. It's a long way to get out of the rut, but any 140 runs here could be a fighting total. Anything over that, bonus. So they've got to repair the damage. They've got a full 6 overs remaining after this.
Once again, being really aggressive here, but won't find a gap there. Well, some clever fielding being placed here. It's like a spider web all around. End of the 14th, 65 for 4.
I was just wondering who would be the next bowler. I think looks like Atwell. I see his name has been on that screen. Though Atwell seems to be the person walking on your screen.
Well, he's delivered a great spell. He's conceded 15, taken 3 wickets with the economy of 3.75. I would say that it's a great economy where in the era of cricket of 90s and 2000s, and in modern day cricket, it's really amazing. And me and Nourish were having a chat about modern, and we're comparing it with.
Well, he pulled that actually from very close to the body. I was surprised that he could have gotten around in time, but he got it along the ground. That's important. So there's an upsurge or a definite showing of aggression, at least intent, in the minds of the players, the batters out there. That's good.
And that is great, the way they're choking it. And I would say that they have choked the Canadian side.
Short, swatted away. That's going to carry. Yes, it does. Nice shot. If you notice the body language, it's like they've had a shot of steroids. They've just all animated, highly animated, suddenly. So they're getting into the act. Nice recovery here.
Yeah, they know that they don't have much overs left, and now they have to shift up the gears, or else it's going to become a jeopardy for them. And that's up in the air. But there wasn't anybody there in the no man's land. But it won't be of much damage with just single.
Straight back down the ground. Amin is the most experienced player in the West Indies squad. Down the pitch, connects. Let's see how far this goes. There's a man out there. But Amin has had that distinction of representing the West Indies in all the formats. Over 40, over 50, and over 60. I see there's some kind of celebration here. I'm not sure what the celebration is about.
That's a run out, I think. Have to check it well. He dived there, but I think it wasn't enough to get into the crease. Yes, that's a run out. He's coming back.
I think this is the correct replay. Let's see. The return rifled. Quite possibly that they were going for the second run.
Oh, that's the celebration. We couldn't get the frame there, but that's Sultan rolling back. Sultan Malik gone on 18 of 23. Now that's going to be a bad blow for Canada. And that will give a big setback because they are constantly losing the wickets and taking the risky runs here. It's just simply throwing wickets away. It's 72 for 5 after 15.
I'd like to think that Canada would have people who can bat at the late half, coming down to the death period. So just from a perspective of Canada, I hope that there's someone who can just throw their bat and get some runs.
Yunus is the new man in, and now it will be much hopes with Yunus because now they have to just stand on the crease. They don't have to throw the wickets away. So already half of the team is departed. And now one more wicket will be too much. Already just on 72 runs. With a current run rate of 4.80, which is in T20 cricket nothing.
This is not very much, but also in T20 cricket, the whole equation and complexion of a game could change with one batter going in there and just spraying his bat around the place, collecting boundaries after boundary. We've seen it so many times at the big stage of the IPL. So it happens.
I would say that if Canada needs to score big on the board, so one of the players has to step up and play a miraculous innings right now in order to just make them ace the first innings so that they could set up a good total.
The West Indies, they've got a pretty formidable batting lineup. And so Canada would have to be cognizant of that fact and to accumulate as many as possible. As I said before, 140, they can hope to reach there. It's a little out of the way, but if they get there, it's still a fight. Now that's in the air. I didn't see an exhorted or exhaustion of energy from the wicketkeeper, so apparently it didn't come off the bat.
Well, if I talk about the West Indies, always, if I talk about the eras of 90s, 2000s, and still West Indies have always been the storm of the batters. They bat too quickly, quick batters. If I talk about Sir Vivian Richards, it was amazing. And people used to be scared when he used to come at the crease. And then the universe boss, Chris Gale. And then the World Cup hero, the World Cup winner, that Carlos Brathwaite, those 4 sixes I still remember. And those words of the commentary, Carlos Brathwaite, remember the name. West Indies has always been tremendous with the bat.
But there's a lot of similarity between Pakistani cricket and West Indian cricket. The same temperament. Pakistan can hand you 1,000 runs today. Tomorrow they can get out. They're very temperamental cricketers. So are the West Indians. But they like exciting cricket. And this is why the crowds flood the grounds in the Caribbean whenever Pakistan goes there.
Surely Pakistan has those players which make our nation proud as well on every single platform. And this ends the 16th year. 75 for the loss of 5 wickets. The struggle still continues for Canada. Just 4 more overs left to win the innings. Now they need to step up. These 4 overs must be a little aggressive by them, or else it'll become big problem.
Look at that background, Fayaz. A really pretty background. Nice place to have a cricket ground. And enveloped by those kinds of infrastructure. So look at the projected score is just about 94 at the moment. Canada would want to do better than that.
Have you been to Karachi outside your hotel, or have you been to our seaside or some the renowned places in Karachi?
I didn't get the question.
Have you been to seaside in Karachi or some renowned places here?
Well, I understand that they have us logged in to go ride camels. Am I right?
Yeah. Camels, horses, the buggy rides there. It's a lovely sea. So this rolls for a boundary there. Sujit finally charges some runs for Canada. And these were the much required with a one-hand sweep, sweet sweep, I would say. And that is what much required for Canada right now, because they are struggling. Sujit goes once again. But definitely the fielding side, it's very clever. Great field set here.
As I said, Zamin is a very experienced player, the most on the squad. And what he does, he really gives it a lot of air. Look at that. Really a lot of air. Hopefully that someone will miscue. And there you go, dropping there. There he bobbed there, down on the boundary. Just can't get it together.
Drop, and a very costly drop. Drops in it, it rolls towards the boundary. Well, I think when the catches drop, the main thing then left is you have to save the boundaries there. And if it rolls towards the boundary, it becomes expensive. This time Yunus must have lost his wicket here. This time he goes down the ground. Gonna be just a single.
Well, in this category of the game, the over 40s and 50s, you would expect that things are going to happen that wouldn't make for a pleasant spectacle. But invariably, it's great cricket. I like watching the over 40. I have not seen the over 50, but next year, my country, Guyana, will be hosting. That will be a 45 over version.
Well, in Karachi, we mostly enjoy the fast formats of the game. Well, if I talk about the local games going on here, they are also played of 20 overs. And mostly now, Karachi is more moving towards the T10. But I personally prefer the one-day cricket and 45-over cricket when you're playing the over 40s and over 50s. And the original game of cricket is still the test cricket, I would say. But now, as the era is evolving, everything is becoming fast, everything is becoming digitalized. Everybody wants quick reactions. Everything you want is being very quick. So now cricket has also evolved and it's become very quick.
Peeling off the bat. But I don't think it has the legs to reach towards the boundary. Let's wait and see. He gets it. But of course, it is such a sensational transformation of cricket. The kind of stroke play, the slugging and the hitting, these batsmen make sixes look like nothing these days. They patch it away for six. They edge it for six. The bats are better, perhaps.
Oh, he rotates his body posture. He was going along with the bat, and What an exquisite hit it was. Straight away gone for a boundary there. Yunus now charging up. He's already into the third last over. It's much required to hit.
But at least this guy is connecting. That's very important. He's swinging it around. He's not getting it in the meat of the bat on many occasions. But the thing is that he's connecting. I was not seeing this kind of connection in the earlier stages of the game.
You already told that only one player who changes the game in T20, and he's that one. Yunus, he's doing a wonderful job. The miraculous innings was required for Canada because West Indies is a big side. They have good batters. They hit some lovely ones there. A target of 120, 130. I think it will be a little challenging for Canada to defend.
But I've not seen the bowling capacity or ability of the Canadians. But for safety's sake, they needed to get to that 150 mark, at least. This ground has not been producing hefty scores, and we'd seen some of the other grounds as well. Yesterday was pretty low scoring, and so the Canadians at least should get, as you mentioned, 140. It's not formidable, but it's fighting.
Yeah. So 18 gone, 100 for 5. And if I talk about the earlier morning game today, so that was also of 134, which was defended. 135 was the target, 134 made. And it was defended, and it was a 54-run victory. The World 11, they were pretty amazing. Although we witnessed the tournament's first hat-trick, which was made by Seager, and straight away 4 wickets in a row.
That's between the Zimbabwe match this
Zimbabwe
morning.
and World 11.
And the rest of the world.
Yes.
Now he connects here, but it's in the air. Is it going down towards the boundary? Yes, it is.
Now Yunus is shifting the gear every single moment, and he now has understood the importance of hitting. Because you're in the last couple of overs, it's all about hitting now. Now you have the 5 wickets in hand. You don't have to be too much worrying about you're losing the wicket, because you have 5 wickets, and now the only thing you need is runs.
Someone is out there also, another bit of misfielding. But it's not looking pretty well.
It was just caught at the brink of the boundary. There must be a little discussion between the umpires as well.
I was having a look at the Sri Lankans. Now this one is in the air. It would not carry over the boundary, but is anyone there? It's going to be pulled back from inside the boundary. I think they would have crossed for 2. 108 for 5. But as I was looking at the Sri Lankans, I think they're probably, quite possibly, the fittest looking squad in this tournament. These guys, sometimes they want to challenge if they're 40 years and over. They look pretty young. Their tummies are all flat. They look in good shape. I've not had an opportunity to see them play, but I'd be excited to see them against the West Indies sometime.
Yeah, surely this time he goes towards the fine leg. They have to sprint it and grab it. Yes, the Sri Lankan side, as you're saying, they had the flat tummies, the seam fit, and obviously, Sri Lankan side is one of the most strongest side of this tournament. If I talk about Pakistan, Pakistan side also has the legends of Pakistan there, Shahid Khan Afridi, Fawad Alam, Abdul Razak. They're also playing it. This time, it's carried. It's carried. They lost Yunus here. He was charging and he was going with an aggressive mindset that he need runs. You don't need to worry about the wicket. You just have to go for runs. And this mindset lost the wicket here.
Just with their backs now a little against the wall, but they were heading right. Nice bit of recovery for a short period, not very extended. And so it's such a pity that Yunus has to go back. But it's coming back to the fitness of the squads. We all know that Pakistan is the powerhouse team of the tournament. And I was delighted yesterday. I met with, not personally meeting, but I was at the same meeting with Abdul Razak. I think there was another former test player as well. And I described Abdul Razak in the 90s when he came to the West Indies. I described Afridi when he was under 19. So quite a privilege to look back at some of these guys.
Now they've become the legends. That means
that was pretty slow, pretty wide of the leg stick. I don't think he made contact with that. We'll wait on a signal of the umpire. Bit of bad work here from the West Indies.
that's been signaled as a wide, but I'll talk about the throw. It wasn't online. It wasn't a great throw at all. It gave the runs of overthrows there. A very costly wide, 3 of it.
If you look at the run rate, it's gone over 6 for the first time. They were lagging behind, just over 3 at one time. So it's picking up a little bit. Suffice to say, a little late. But at least if they can struggle to get to that 125 somewhere, bit of a compensation. End of 19, 116 for 6. I hope I'm getting his name right. Adakal. We're joining Sujit. He's on 23. He's been there hanging about for a long time. 18 deliveries he's faced up to. But in the circumstances, he survived. He kept his wicket. At least the Canadians are not all out as yet. Or may not ever be.
And if I talk about Sujit, that he supported Yunus. He blocked the wicket from one end and he supported Yunus that he should go from the other end and he should hit some bigger ones there. Plays it down the ground off the mark with a single. And to the last over, that's a bit risky. But it was appealed. Taking a couple of runs. Score now races to 118 for a loss of 6. Once again, Adikal goes down the ground straight. Oh, he lost his balance there, the fielder.
Just look at that number on Mahendra Nagamutu's back for clarifications. That's the amount of first-class wickets he took. He was the leading wicket taker in the Caribbean, 370. This one is in the air, dropping short.
Well, that was between the two fielders. The fielders didn't had a chance to grab it. Oh, a beautiful evening of Karachi. Great infrastructure. A drone shot making a treat to my eyes here. That's Sadr Karachi we are seeing right now on our screens.
Beautiful city, inside edge. Nice bit of work down at short fine leg. 1-2-0, now 1-2-1 for 6. This is the final over.
It's a beautiful drone shot of Karachi Gymkhana. This match is being played. Being a West Indian, you must be pretty much satisfied by the innings played here by West Indies.
Big offer, doesn't make contact. And that's it, I think. Yes, 20 overs up. And Canada, the West Indies would need 1-2-0.
1-2-3.
Yep, 120 balls actually to win. 123 is the target. And you were asking the question whether I think that is a good enough total for the West Indies to chase down based on their batting lineup. They've got a pretty strong batting lineup. But Fayaz, I've learned something over the years. Runs on the board are runs on the board. It depends now. I think the advantage would be the West Indies, but it depends on the start of the bowling attack by Canada. That's your batting records there. Not many high scores, 22 by Amin, 18 Sultan, and the two biggest scores, 25 by Sujit, 28 by Yunus, being the stars of the Canadian side. 1-2-2 for 6. And the bowling figures there for you, not many wickets, just one for Bab. The star there was Atwell, he picked up 3 for 15. 1 to Zamin, and the fall of the wickets. So 122 for 6. The West Indies can be pretty happy. And of course, it's to go out there and prove it. You've got to get those runs. It is how Pakistan shapes up with their bowling.
Yes, now 123 required in the second innings for West Indies to win this game. And now we'll be back shortly after the inning break. So we have Nourish ready with the interview of Etwell. He has taken 3 wickets, and what a innings by him today. So over to Nourish now.
Well, I'm joined by the star bowler of the West Indian side, Atwell, who managed to bag 3 wickets at the expense of 15 runs in just 4 overs. And he played an instrumental role in West Indian side coming on to the top. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time. First of all, when you went out to bowl there, what was your plan?
Basically, it was basically just to keep the ball as straight as possible, possibly vary my pace as much as possible.
Yeah, we saw how they increased versatility there was in your bowling. How much of support did you have from the pitch?
Uh, there was a lot of support from the pitch. The pitch was giving you a bit of a skid through, so you just needed to put the ball in the right places, and it worked out for me today.
Before your final over that you came out to bowl, uh, Canadian batters were kind of looking good in the middle. So what plan did you have to bounce back?
Well, basically, it's going to be us batting on a track that is a bit good for batting. It looks good for batting. You just got to keep the ball on the ground, put it in the gaps, and run hard.
Finally, do you think the total that you guys have restricted Canada under, do you think that it will be enough for you guys to chase?
Uh, no, we've got a good batting lineup. Hopefully, we get there as quick as possible.
We wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was the star bowler Atwell for you. Over to you in the comments box.
Okay, thank you so much, Nourish. And in a bit, we are going to start with the second innings. 123 to be made to win by a West Indies side. So stay tuned.
123 in 20 overs.
And Atwell, they're going to represent West Indies, and Yunus, he was charging up the bowler, scored 28. He's going to bowl. West Indies need 123 to win this game.
Here we go, the first ball of the innings, second innings. Attacking the stumps once again, and that's running between the wickets. I was interviewing Atwell a couple of minutes ago, and I asked him if the total that if managed to restrict Canada under would be enough. He had a proper game plan in his mind, and he was like, "We need to bat well to get through this." I think that's the mindset that gets you through important wins.
And in the last innings, we had Naeem Chen with us in the commentary box. He's very senior. He's from West Indies, Caribbean. Mohammad Yunus is bowling it. He's from West Indies, Caribbean. And he said that West Indies has a very good batting lineup as well.
He's been practicing that shot lately, Apple. That's excellent running between the wickets. Then there's situational awareness, game awareness, reading the pitch. Everything has been spot on so far. Although it's too early to infer, it's only been the first ball here in the second innings. But I have a feeling that Atwell is going to go big this time.
And look at the body language. They are very confident here. And it's in every single format. If I talk about the Caribbean, the national team in 90s and 2000s, and now it's always lovely to watch Caribbean players because they charge up a lot. This time a very good puzzling delivery there. Yunus with little bit movement in the delivery. Leacock wasn't able to reach the ball there.
Yeah, it's the weather currently that's turning out to be less sunny as the sun goes down, and that's why it's the wind. It's becoming more windy, and that's supporting the seam bowling out there.
Well, he's delivering it wonderfully, and if I talk about the Windies players, they're more focused for rotating the strike, building up the confidence, and then they're going to strike it. They always play like a storm coming. And if we look at the current run, it is 4.50. It's nothing in T20 cricket.
And we got to consider that their required run rate was 6.15, and that's beautifully guided away for a 4. The first boundary for West Indies comes in right off the first over of the second innings, and that was a beautiful straight drive. Guided it just above the mid-off, right between the mid-off and mid-on position. It was a straight drive, and the ball rolled away and met the fence for a 4.
That was beautifully timed there. This time plays down the ground and a quick sprint for a run. Now they're more focusing where they're getting the ball in the range, they're hitting it, although they are more focusing towards singles and doubles, building up the innings. This ends the first 8 without any loss, West Indies.
I wouldn't say it's. I won't say the West Indies can chase it down, because Canada has the potential to win this one as well. We've seen Zimbabwe winning a very a match that Zimbabwe losing a match that they were supposed to win. Zimbabwe initially came in with a winning spirit in the first match earlier on today, but they ended up being not on the winning side, and World 11, managed to win that one, even though we were anticipating that any target below 150 would be difficult for them to defend. But they defied all odds. Peak Pakistani cricket team moment.
Obviously, when you are playing in Pakistan, the air in Pakistan, that makes the players unpredictable.
Timed it beautifully, found the gap and guided it towards the leg side for a 4. That's Satwell for you. He stepped up with the ball and is now stepping up with the bat, and they look very confident. Atwell and Leacock, they're not here to settle for less.
He made it look so easy that it's as if it's nothing to hit for a boundary. He just connected the bat with the ball, properly timed, and a little bit of a turning in the posture, and just races over the fence.
And that was deep square leg. That greeted the ball for a 4.
Using the pace of the ball this time towards the deep point. Fielder there. But a very strong throw. The keeper wasn't able to hold it. Gonna get a couple of runs. Iftikhar delivering it. 6 of the first 2 deliveries. Atwell today wonderful with the ball, taking 3 wickets. His spell was wonderful. Economically, taking the wickets, doing the dots. In every department, Atwell was amazing. And now with the bat as well.
Chance, and it's pumped away right through the mid-off, between the mid-off and extra cover, away for a 4. Long off and Atwell get along so well.
Yeah, it was just near the commentary box. What a straight hit there. Well, he's not stopping, and it's a good mindset, attacking and utilizing the power play as it should be. As we were expecting from Canada as well, you have to utilize the power play, because T20 cricket is all about utilizing the power play. And when you ace the power play, it becomes a lot easier. Just look at it, they're playing with such ease, just the connection of the ball with the bat. And Canada was struggling with this thing. They were struggling to connect the ball with the bat.
That's the beauty of running between the wickets and rotating the strike. You at least have runs piling one board, and that is the beautiful Karachi Gymkhana, captured perfectly and meticulously by the drone cam. And it's the first day of the IMC Over-40s T20 World Cup 2025, succeeding a very enthusiastic opening ceremony that was held yesterday at Governor House, and a media briefing that was held at the Marriott Hotel Karachi before that. So it was a very eventful day yesterday, and so is today.
Yeah, it was a long day yesterday for us commentators as well.
The bottom line is that it was we represented Karachi to the fullest.
Yeah, and it was fun because we had met the legends, we had met all the foreign players. And when you're representing your country, when you're representing your city, it becomes much of a proud moment.
We were talking about the pitch, where this is something that Karachi, the pitch in Karachi, it offers a bit of bounce as compared to the other pitches. If I compare to the pitch in Lahore, pitch in Pindi, Karachi's pitch is the ones that offers a bit of bounce. And this is Karachi, the hustle bustle of Karachi is perfectly encapsulated by the drone cam. There's the Karachi Gymkhana, your go-to place for athletics. If you're a swimmer, you come here. If you're a cricketer, you come here. You play any sports, you just come here. It has world-class facilities, and it has a lot to offer in terms of athletics.
I'm very keen of swimming, and they're constantly showing the pool there.
You're
Making-
tempted, right? You're tempted.
Yeah, I am. End of the second, 22, without any loss, going with the run rate of 11.
You know, I've been noticing something. Fayaz was discussing this with Naeem earlier in the first innings. West Indies, they've always had their strengths that have, let them and, allowed them to go over the line with their wins. One is the short pitch balls and the bouncers. And on that note, West Indies need 101 runs from 108 balls with a run rate of 5.61. It's actually pretty much achievable.
Yeah, and West Indies always love to play the pace on deliveries because they use the pace. They know that they just have to connect it, time it properly, and you're going to get some easy runs there. And at this stage, if I talk about Canada, they were just a single of a wicket. And on the other end, West Indies on 22 hasn't lost any wicket yet. Must be some sort of issue with the gloves there.
Conceivably. So I was talking about West Indies cricket, and now it had grown over the years. However, it appalls me to witness not some good quality cricket from the West Indian side for a couple of years recently. I still remember that iconic. Remember the name Carlos Brathwaite. That was iconic, and I mean it was pretty much last over.
Oh, the Carlos Brathwaite, they just snatched the World Cup from the hands of England back then. And remember the name, Carlos Brathwaite, those
Yeah.
iconic 4 maximums. Oh, that was like wherever you're going to deliver that person, he's going to just blow it away for a maximum. That was wonderful. I was watching it on my television, and it's just hopped away from my sofa set, and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
That's the beauty of cricket. It doesn't let you sleep.
Yeah. And
And
obviously,
for good reasons.
yeah, and obviously, being a Pakistanis, cricket is in our blood. And from the childhood, we have been taught as a male, everybody is like, if a physical game is meant to be played, it's cricket. The first thing, we're going to play cricket, and then we go towards football and badminton and all that. But it unites people in Pakistan. Cricket is the game. And that is why Pakistan produces much of pacers. Pakistan is pretty much famous for producing good pacers.
It's P for Pakistan, P for pace. The iconic Shoaib Akhtar with a record of 163 kph. It still stands unbroken. So here we are. That's our flex. The pace bowling attack.
Yeah, the Rawalpindi Express. The Rawalpindi Express still has the record, and it's not pretty easy to break because the way he used to practice it and the muscle he has, it's not for everybody.
Attacking the stumps once again. Yunus attempts to bowl it in the mid of the length, but Leacock couldn't find his groove to hit it for a boundary. He's Joe Leacock. He's currently standing on 2 of 4 balls, and I tell you, if he stays for another, say, 3 to 4 overs, he's gonna take things over the line for West Indies. That's the potential that he possesses. And then we have Anthony Atwell. He is currently standing on 19 runs of 8 deliveries, and it was a catch drop. You cannot afford a cash drop, especially when it is Leacock. You've given him an extra life, my friend.
Catches win matches, and if you're dropping it, that means you're dropping the match. And when you have players like Leacock and Etwill standing here, it's not really affordable to drop those catches. You need a breakthrough here.
Is it gone? Oh, yes, it is. The umpire confirms what we anticipated. It was a mere inches closer to the bat, and Eunice succeeds in getting that early breakthrough for Canada. Would you look at that? The outside edge, the outswing that the ball possessed, attacked the stumps, bowled a bit away from the stumps in the slot area, and managed to trick Leacock into playing it towards, into giving that outside edge, and the keeper made no mistake in catching that. And Joe Leacock departs, scoring 2 runs.
Yeah, Canada cricket, 1 minute down, next minute up. What a game. And I remember the ICC Champions Trophy where Virat Kohli was dropped on a delivery, and then on the very next delivery, Shadab Khan, what a catch he took. And then it was all a breakthrough for Pakistan, and then they won the ICC Champions Trophy. It reminds me of it.
Well, I mean, it does make sense they're in Pakistan at the moment.
Being a Pakistani, it feels really proud.
The captain is in, the skipper of West Indies is in, and he's decided to take matters in his own hands now.
And obviously the skipper, he is much responsible with the cricket, and obviously skipper innings is much required. And being a skipper is not an easy job.
And what an over has it been from Eunice. Contributed significantly towards Canada getting that early breakthrough. And thanks to him and his wonderful, almost maiden over that came at the expense of a wicket.
This time pushes the way towards the square leg. Won't be of much damage. Taking a single there, although one of the best overs delivered by Canada so far. Just one of it with the wicket. Yunus delivers it. And he was delivering it from the bat as well. He's the only player who scored 28 and quick 28, which gave a breakthrough to Canada.
Well, the Leacock Artful partnership showed some hope for the West Indies, but it fell prey to Eunice's exceptional outswing delivery.
You can see the tournament for so far. 66 boundaries scored in this tournament, and it's only the first day. That's a lovely tournament going on.
And I reckon National Stadium Karachi would have had a heightened role to play here.
Yeah, that will be a blast there. And obviously, some great players will be playing in National Stadium Karachi.
Attacking the stumps once again, and there was a really good fielding by Canada.
It is going cross of the line there. Iftikhar tried to just puzzle up a batter there. He was delivering it on the toe. So that a little bit of a mistake could lead to a wicket. And that's the attacking strategy Canada requires right now, because they need wickets, or else it'll be a big problem there.
Succeeded to get another run there. If Canada are looking forward to another breakthrough, it has to be this partnership. They shouldn't let the Atwill-Farnham partnership flourish. One, it's the skipper on crease. Second, if you unleash Atwill, he is going to prove just why he shouldn't be unleashed. And another, it was an opportunity there, but the ball run away for a 4, and that's another boundary up there in the bucket for Team West Indies.
Yeah, you are pretty right that they have to unleash at will right now, or else he's going to do lots and lots of destruction here. And that will be very costly for Canada cricket right now.
I guess we're gonna rephrase the iconic phrase, remember the name at will.
Yeah, West Indies, you're going to remember every single player. You cannot take anybody lightly there. It was pretty much close inside edge.
Iftikhar went a little unlucky there, was inches away from the stumps.
It was the back foot which saved at will. Of today's iconic innings. That's some crowd there as well, along with our match referees, our scorers, and everybody enjoying a beautiful sunny evening today.
Required run rate now jumping on to 5.69.
Well, that was a good delivery, pitched very fuller, and didn't let it will open his hands there on it.
I love the wrist work that Antonin Atwell has been doing so far. He's been pretty flexible with his with respect to using his wrists. He uses them to the fullest, and when he's intending to hit a boundary, he hits it with extreme precision, full precision. He makes no mistake in doing that.
Just look at that. A big shout there. No response by the umpire. Well, Iftikhar comparatively is delivering it quite wonderfully. And he wasn't happy with the thing happening right now because he's trying for wickets and he's being a little unlucky there. So he duck out of West Indies. And here a drone operator. 4 was gone, 30 for 1.
Chance of a run out, and they were safe. What a start to the 5th over.
And just look at the fielding effort there. Although he was down on the ground and being it down, he just threw at the great point there. It was straight onto the stumps. Great piece of fielding there.
The skipper made no mistake in getting home safe.
Yeah, and Yunus once again brought back to the action. And he's the man.
The question is, will he get another breakthrough for Canada?
Well, if the card on the one end and then Yunus on the other end, they both are trying. Although Yunus got one breakthrough. And he's a very clever bowler. And the way he sets up his field and he's getting the help from and some tips from the skipper as well. Yunus can deliver it. Too much of potential in last over. That was amazing with a wicket and a single. That's it.
Even looked a bit disappointed. It's a wide ball. It's a wide ball. It wasn't pitched in properly. It wasn't pitched in correctly. Had it been a bit towards the mid stump, and had he been a bit more mindful of the line and length, it would have might as well have marked the end of the innings.
He was more focusing to deliver it towards the leg stump. But that unfortunately became a wide. It slipped out of the hands. Now the skipper himself is facing it. West Indies already on 33. And they're racing the power play right now. So time he goes across the line.
Dissects between the fielder, and owing to a slow outfield, the ball couldn't reach the boundary.
Although it already struck the hands of the fielder. That just broke the momentum of the ball. And the outfield as well. The outfield today has become disaster for the teams there.
Yeah, and the teams have been aiming to, if they're aiming for boundary, they're hoping for a when bounce four, or if they're playing an aerial shot, they're considering the situation all around them, and then they're going ahead for that aerial shot.
Yeah, in the outfield you have to be fortunate enough to find out that free runs or
Yeah.
else.
I think situational awareness plays a huge role. And speaking of which, the situational awareness wasn't really
The ground,
upheld at this point.
the ground is pretty much not supporting the batters today because of the outfield, and then the pitch is much responding in the favor of the spinners. And when you're
Ye-
going with a pace attack, so the pace attack, basically the batters are using the pace of the ball and just using the wrist. They're finding the gaps there, and then they are hitting the boundaries. And the flow from which West Indies were going, I can see the flow is broken after Yunus.
Oh, the way Yunus attacks this stump. That is absolutely beautiful. Flawless bowling from Yunus. And his second over, his second over also wasn't that expensive. It only one wide, two dot 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 one. No, it's not a phone number. It's the over that Yunus has bowled. So that's West Indies are 36 for 1 at the end of 5 overs.
Now, Naim Chen, he'll be joining us in the commentary box. Along with you, Nourish. You're going to enjoy it now.
I second that. They're not making any changes with respect to their fielding, Canada. And now we're rejoined by the incredible Naim Chan, who is here with us in the comms box. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Rejoining us.
Well, every now and then, thanks, Norish. Every now and then I have to look at my notes to know who exactly I'm talking with. Fayaz and now Norish Khan. Is trying to establish herself in a formidable career in cricket commentaries. I rather suspect that you also do reporting. Do you do that? News, sports?
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
I do a lot of stuff.
I see that. Farnham, they're not reading that one. Farnham is the kind of batsman that has the kind of temperament that Guyana needs to display here. This is not about rocket science to get to a minimum total that they're looking for. So it's all about just staying there, turning it over, get the singles here or there.
I see what Ramzan is trying to do here. He's trying to mimic what Yunus did when he got the first wicket for Canada. However, if Canada are to expect some comeback in the game, they have to break this partnership. Guides it away beautifully towards the offside, but there was a fielder there. The West Indian cricket, as we were just talking about it, it's been pretty unpredictable for the past couple of years. Mohammad Ramzan is the new bowler in for Canada. wicketkeepers decided to take matters in his own hand. Canada, for the Canadian skipper, is this come out to bowl. It was wide, but I think they were just trying to get an edge towards the leg side. And Atwell is not the right person you would want to bowl. You would want to bowl this delivery to. And it resulted in a wide as it was anticipated. You wouldn't want to bowl that kind of delivery to Atwell at all. And especially when it's the captain you're bowling to, you wouldn't want to do that.
Well, I'm looking at some of the messages coming out of the Caribbean. Thank you for joining us, first of all. We have a Richard Latif playing in the West Indies squad here. And I see a comment from a Latif in Guyana. Another message read, where is this happening? Well, let's take some time off to remind you that this is in Karachi, Pakistan. It's the inaugural T20 Over-40 tournament put together by the IMC. So this is Guyana's first game alongside Canada.
Attacking the stumps once again and kind of went on with the pace of delivery, Ramzan from Canada, and was giving a bit of hard time to Lawrence, the skipper of the West Indian side.
Wide, dropped, inside and then outside. Now these are the things that would deny you victory or give you victory. You have to snatch those catches. It went to hand. Have a look at this again.
And it's the second time that this has happened in this innings. So you cannot drop crucial catches and expect a victory. This is precisely what snatched away the victory from the Zimbabwe side in the earlier today.
I was making the point in an early match with commentaries where in particular, if you're bowling to a top order batsman and you give that batsman a chance, I make a note in my notepad. Why? Because it can come back to haunt you. And I want to remind you, you dropped this guy when he was on 5. He's 105 now. It makes a whole lot of difference. You have to, especially in T20s, every opportunity. They could have put Guyana now maybe 40 for 2, 40 for 3.
It's the same for ODI and Test cricket as well. Currently, especially considering the latest Test matches, especially the ones that have been happening this year round. We saw the World Test Championship final that was happening at Lord's, and it was a roller coaster of a Test match. So every catch matters, especially when you're playing such high stakes match.
I'd like to apologize. I think I said Guyana. It's the West Indies. And there are several players from Guyana, almost like an invasion from Guyana. And then we've got people from the BVI. Atwell is from the BVI. We've got from Trinidad, from Barbados, making up the West Indies team.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing about the IMC Over-40s T20 World Cup. The inclusivity and diversity is what makes it one of a kind.
I think that Farnham knows his role, and that's the role he can play best, which is just steer your side rather than being ultra aggressive. He's going to keep it along the ground, and that's very important not to give your wicket away, so that if the wickets around you are falling, there is some stability or stabilizing factor to hold the innings together. On the other hand, and from another perspective, Canada needs to take wickets. Why? Because the target that they posted is not of sufficient value. So they have to get wickets.
I second that. And they have to realize the magnitude of utilizing the power play to the fullest. Although the power play is over at this point, and they did make some use of the power play, but it wasn't. In a nutshell, it was West Indies that were on top in the power play. And we can see what Lawrence is trying to do here. That's Khalid Jilani, the new man in for Canada, bowling his first over. There was an appeal from the keeper. Was confident it was an LBW, but the ball was a bit high. Had it been a bit low, and it would have been a bit uh, towards the stumps, would have marked the end of innings for the skipper of the West Indies. And to add to what you were saying, name about not giving away your wickets, and I feel like running between the wickets and making sure that you have sufficient runs on the board, and those runs do not necessarily need to come out of boundaries. You can run between the wickets, you can rotate the strike, and still get enough runs on the board. The important thing is that there should not be stagnancy when it comes to the total that you're putting up on the board.
I think I was listening to you and Fayaz talking about the difference in the formats. It is amazing when you realize this magnificent, huge difference between a one-day international and nowadays it's all about T20s. And the operative word that I think I want to express in describing that change of format to the lesser overs is killer instinct. You drop a catch, you can come back, it can come back to haunt you. Everything, it's so tight that you've got to try to get everything correct in that short space and limited time that you have.
Second that, I think it's a survival of the fittest, but in cricketing terms.
I'd like to see the bowlers attack the stumps a little more. I've seen a few deliveries just lagging outside off stump or outside leg stump. You're not going to get anywhere with that. You got to bowl these guys down, or you got to take the catches and bring some equilibrium to this whole equation. It's not about just bowling. Get those stumps, get Yorkers.
Agreed, and it may not temporarily show, but it is going to come back and haunt you later on in the game. And I fear that for Canada, if they don't do something soon, it's going to come back and haunt them real bad. And at the time when they would least expect it. They need to get rid of this Lawrence-Atwell partnership if they are to expect a win going forward from here.
And if you notice Atwell, he's been in there for a while, 15 balls for his 27. So that average is pretty nice. The amount of balls faced compared to the amount of runs that he has, 28 in 16. So he's seeing the ball well. So you got to get wickets. You're not going to win anything if you don't get these guys out. And I'm talking about Canada here. Of course, the other side of the coin. The West Indies should be cognizant of the fact what is exactly required. I heard them in the dressing room discussing it, and that's very easy to see and conceptualize because 100, just over 100 and something runs, it's not many. And so you don't need to go on an extravaganza of stroke play.
That's high. That's high. Is it taken? No, it's not. It clears the fence and greets the crowd with a 6. We're all waiting for the umpire's confirmation, and yes, it is a 6. It was perfectly executed towards the long on. Lawrence had been eyeing that long on position for long now, and he was finally able to execute it flawlessly.
Well, if he didn't, I would have been upset because that was in the spot for the drive. We call it sometimes the sweet spot. We call it, it's directly there available for the big drive. That is what he did. Nice shot selection there from Farnham, the captain.
Feel like the skipper needs better situational awareness. I'm talking about Canada here. They need to be mindful of the deliveries that they're trying to bowl. You need to incorporate some versatility in your bowling. If the slot is not working for you, try good length. If it's not working for you, you could go on Yorkers. But you need to be mindful of the fact that you don't bowl too away from the stumps. Because if you do that, the West Indies have a history of winning crucial runs of deliveries that are bowled in the short that are short pitched back of the length and bouncers. They're good at delivering bouncers and they're good at playing bouncers as well. So it's the end of the 8th over and West Indies are now 51 for 1.
Well, every time I address the Caribbean people from Karachi, I've always got to look at my watch. I don't know whether it's morning or night. Everyone that calls me the wrong time. So it's good morning, Guyana. Very pleasant outfield, nice lush green grass. I made a point this morning. I don't think that I completed it. The West Indians were in the net here at the Gymkhana ground, and there were some young Pakistani club boys. When I looked at them bowl, I remembered Shoaib Akhtar and Wasim Akram and Wakar Yunus. These youngsters were full of energy.
And that's what Fayaz and I rephrased it to. P for Pakistan, P for pace attack. Because Pakistan is known for its pace attack. And Canada are currently repeating the same mistake they've been making throughout. They're not mindful of the line and length, and neither are they mindful of the situational awareness. And you were just discussing about the outfield name. The other side of the coin is that this outfield is a bit slow, and it is this slow outfield that has been the only roadblock between a boundary and a win so far for many players throughout the day.
That was dangerous, although he executed it well, because he was actually flat on his buttocks, and in the process, it was in front of the stumps. He was struck on the pad and had missed. There you go. That may have been LBW. But I think he lost control and balance, ended up on his buttocks. Atwell he plays in the leagues in England, does a lot of coaching as well, and wormed his way into the West Indies side. So he's quite an asset. Intelligent cricket as well.
Atwell is well on the crease, and it was executed perfectly by him. Once again, eyeing the leg side towards the deep mid-wicket area. He made no mistake. Although there was little to no footwork, but his feet were firm on the ground as he was eyeing that delivery and waiting for the perfect time to hit it out of the park. And he was eyeing that delivery, that shot for a long time now, the deep mid-wicket area. That is what I felt. I was about to mention it. I think they read my mind or something, the West Indian batters, because I was about to mention that they need to utilize round the wicket. They need to play round the wicket rather than, only utilizing the offside. But I think Atwell heard me. So West Indies are now in a strong position as they're 61 for 1 after 9 overs.
There's an important aspect to the West Indies reply here that I like. What I'm seeing is that although it's not a huge target, just 123 to win the game, that they're not either going in flamboyance, hitting the ball around the place, neither are they allowing themselves to be bogged down. It's playing your natural game. There seems to be, on many occasions, if you have a small target to chase, you get flustered by wanting to hit the ball around, win the game as quickly as possible. You lose wickets. The other way around is don't get bogged down either. Just play your game naturally. And that's what they're doing.
The skipper has decided to take matters in his own hands. Again, the slow outfield came in between his addition to another boundary for the West Indian team. But all in all, he looks in a good position. Lawrence.
Lawrence Farnham, he's the captain of the West Indies side, and he's not known for power hitting. In fact, some of the boys told me his nickname was Cut 'em and Sweep 'em. He cuts a lot, sweeps a lot, gets it around the corner, turns the strike over. Very important. You can have someone at the other end giving support to, and let them do the striking.
Speaking of striking, Atwell has decided to take matters in his own hands once again. And yet again, it was the slow outfield that prevented the boundary. But it was a shot that was beautifully executed. Had it been hit with a little more power, it would have crossed the boundary line and added another boundary in their record.
Just about the halfway mark required, runs required, and halfway mark in overs. And that when he went over, and the ball went under the bat.
Canada have to get a wicket, and they have to do it quick. They must get a wicket now. It's either now or never.
I was about to say, like, Atwell is tired of batting, just walking away on the offside, but he's executing the shots. The thing is with these shots, reverse sweeps, if you miscue and you get out, people will criticize you. But if you do it well, like A.B. de Villiers, then people praise you. So he's fortunate to have executed it right.
I was about to say, at this point, I think he's able to read everyone's mind. He's able to read our mind. He's able to read the bowler's mind because he was preparing for that shot well in advance. And I think Karuna Ratne has to think over, has to ponder over the fact that he needs to bring a bit more versatility in his bowling because he's becoming too predictable by now. So if, as a bowler, you're that predictable that the batter prepares in advance of your bowling for the shot that he's about to play and he is able to execute that shot, then it's on you, my friend. It's on you, Karuna Ratne. And West Indies are now 73 for 1 at the end of 10 overs. And there'll be a slight change in the commentary box as we would be rejoined by Fayaz Faisal.
Thank you, Norris. I was about to ask you before you went off, at what age did you start talking? Talking. You started. She's like non-stop and very insightful. Appreciate.
Yeah.
Hi, Fayaz. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Well, obviously, when you're praising Nourish is amazing, and she. It's like a chatterbox. She starts and she just does it very well.
She probably gives them a hard time at home. And she's quarter pint sized, but her voice is 100% up.
Yeah, that is why she's sharing the comedy box with you.
So look at the runs required. They're going to have the little break in there, and quite possibly we can have a little break in here in the commentary box. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Those were some good compliments that I had. Thank you. And just for the record, I started speaking at the age of 7 months. I was quite young. And I started professional commentary at the age of 18, so that's another.
Well, that means it's quite a lot similar to me. I started at 17, but I started talking at the age of 1.
That's the warm graph of the West Indies versus Canada match. And we've seen West Indies have been clearly over line with their runs, and with they've been a run getter, the West Indian side.
Well, the West Indian sides, they have not lost much of wickets, only 1 down. And they're already more than half a way down. It's a lot more difficult for them. 73 already, and Etwell now on 45 of 27. And Nourish, I think we are fortunate enough to see witness the hat-trick in the first game, and now Etwell is very much close to his half-century, so we're going to witness the half-century as well, if we are fortunate, because in cricket it's, and especially in Karachi in Pakistan, it's really unpredictable.
And we are rejoined by Naeem Shan, who would continue his legendary commentary.
Yeah, sure, I'm fortunate enough. Share the commentary box with Naeem. Oh, that is what I was talking about. That the air in Karachi and Pakistan is very unpredictable. Although I was talking that we'll be fortunate enough if we're going to witness the half-century today, because he was just 3 runs away from his half-century at 12, and he lost his wicket here. It was a little rush of the runs. He just swept the bat, but didn't connect it well and just roots up the stumps there.
I'm just wondering whether Atwell was getting a little exhausted, because you could have seen it in his body language. He was playing sweep shots and unorthodox kind of shots, which he executed well, nevertheless. And just in check on his individual score to know that he was on 47. A good knock off 29 balls. In any circumstance, that's excellent. Good batting.
And surely it could become the front and backbone inning for West Indies so far, because they're almost just near, because they're more than half a way down. 75 already on the board. In 10.2, Ali took a wicket there, delivering it his first over. Couple of runs of his first delivery, and then what a wicket. It will surely benefit Canada a lot. It's a breakthrough. This partnership needed to be broken if Canada wanted to come back into the game, and that is what happened. Larry Babb, right-handed, now on crease. Are going to face as well.
He's a policeman, actually, from Barbados, and played in the domestic T20 series in the Caribbean, and had 2 60s in the 2 practice matches. So he's in pretty good shape and form.
Yeah, and you can look at his physique as well. It's quite a great physique, and it's really appealing that policemen should have these kinds of physique, and we're hoping for a great game as well.
He's probably very junior in the police force, because as you get senior and the ranks increase or improve. Now he's gone. Gone. First ball. He's a hard-hitting batsman, and that's what Canada needs. You've got to get wickets, and that's what exactly the doctors ordered. Good for Canada. Just unfortunate, I am from the West Indies, and on the air when Larry Babb gets out, first ball. So there's a hat-trick ball.
Yeah, and now there's going to be a little setback here. And obviously, Canada will gain much confidence of it. And Ali will be in more confidence because he's got a big wicket. Larry Babb has gone on a golden duck. He's walking back, not really happy. The Canada side must be enjoying it a lot because they wanted those wickets. They were eyeing on those wickets. They were struggling to get it. They're doing some mistakes, and suddenly Ali came and changed the game. It's magnificent 2 wickets, and now he's on a hat trick.
I'm just disappointed in Canada's fielding that they did not take those catches and soak up all those opportunities. And the West Indies could have been 75 for 5 maybe by now. Those are the things that we were talking about earlier on. They did not seize the opportunities afforded them. So the West Indies capitalized on it. I must tell you, Fayaz, this morning I said that I'm still getting accustomed to the culture and the country, the new things that I'm discovering. I mentioned the thousands of motorcycles that I see on the roadways. I mentioned that I hardly see women folk on the roads. But there's one I need to add to that list.
Oh, actually...
Let me just get that one in. I'm feeling very holy. I'm just in the country for a single week. And anywhere I go, anytime I go, I hear loudspeakers with the prayers all the way. And I'm soaking up the holiness of the country. I might be going back to Guyana as holy as the Prophet himself.
Yeah. And... first of all, I'll like to come on the motorcycles because of the narrow roads here, and it's a metropolitan city, and the population here is much okay. So this time, he pushes it away towards the leg side. I'm gonna just get a single. It's now rotating the strike there. So once again, we'll come back to the motorcycles because it's a metropolitan city and the population is constantly increasing here. And the major transportation, the motorcycles are used along with the rickshaws. And now the infrastructure is also changing. The developments have started. We are making the roads and the poles there, flyovers, and on which those double-deckers and those metro buses will be moving. So then it'll be a good of a transportation for the people of Karachi.
Yeah, I think they need that. I see congestion. It's pretty hectic on the road. I get a little head turn. When you see the traffic, they're moving in all directions. The motorcycles in between, swerving. And so, but a pretty sight. I want to go into one of those rickshaws before I get back home.
Yeah, sure. It'll be a great ride in the rickshaws. So, as we first held that 11 overs are gone, 78 for 3. And at this stage, West Indies were also Canada were 49 for 2, and the West Indies are 78 for 3, far ahead of Canada. If I talk about the rickshaw rides are, it's an adventure. It's really an adventure on the narrow roads when they're doing the cuttings here and there, and when you're seeing the motorbike riders and with the sharp cuts and overtakes. So that'll be a joyful ride.
I hope I reach my destination safely.
No, you're going to reach your destination safely because all the riders here, if I talk about the rickshaw riders, if I talk about the motorcycle riders, they can even win a MotoGP race. They're great. And even from 7 years, I've been riding a motorcycle. And it's much of a convenient transportation here because when you're using a car, because of too much of rushed up traffic, it becomes a little hectic. And because of the motorcycle, you can take sharp turns and you can just reach your destination on time.
I think I saw one of them riding on the pave to avoid the traffic and the congestion and came back on.
But now, because of the safe sound city, okay, now this time, he just pushes away towards the fielder there. Gonna be a couple of runs. Devendra once again gonna face it. Okay, so I was talking that now if you're gonna go on the pavements or you're gonna run the bike on the pavements, you're gonna get an e-challan, because now Karachi is becoming a safe and secure city. The cameras are being put up all around the city. The poles have been planted, and especially in the areas where the poles are not planted, where the infrastructure is little changing because of the metros, as I've mentioned earlier. And now the Karachi is building up more beautiful. You're going to see the high-rise buildings as well. You're going to see the metros. You're going to see some good roads as well. Oh, a big shout there. Khalid being pretty much confident, and he's not happy at all with the umpire's decision. That is very close, and that was a much creating pressure on the batter.
I think it was a good appeal. I don't know, quite possibly, that the batsman was coming down the pitch or attempting to do it, and so the distance between the point of strike and the wicket may have been lengthened, and the umpire decided, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the batsman.
Yeah, the shout was quite loud, but not really convinced the umpire there. And if you talk about the holiness of Karachi, it's not just Karachi. You're going to witness this all over Pakistan, because 5 times a day it's the prayer time. It's azan going on the loudspeakers, and then we go for namaz. And it's a Muslim Muslim country, so you're gonna hear it all over Pakistan, and it's very soothing. It's very soothing.
This government owes you, Fayaz, some kind of stipend. You sell your country well. I think you're a good ambassador as well.
This country has given us a lot, and it's giving us a lot as well, and we are proud to be Pakistanis, and being the ambassador of our country, it's a much prouder moment when you got a star on your chest there. That makes us proud. And that is why Pakistan hosting the T20 Over-40s World Cup, and I'm the commentator here. This is my country is giving to me. Good opportunities, and they let me show my skills, my talent, and that is what. Thank you to my country.
Farnham still there, 21 of 26. He's got that kind of patience, high in the air, dropping short. I hope the Canadians have realized the couple, I think it were at least 2 catches I remember that they'd put down. It's costing them now. And they've got to seize the opportunities. It's never too late. And both Devi Maharaj teaming up with Farnham, displaying the kind of temperament that is actually required. If you're going to get to that victory and that target of 1, 2, 3, it's not a big asking. So nice battle, but it would have been more exciting from a cricketing perspective if they had held those catches.
Yeah, sure. The catches win matches. And if you're dropping the catch, that means you're dropping the match from your own hands. And you're hitting your own legs with the X there. And that's going to hurt you a lot.
Devendra Maharaj, quite a prolific hitter of the ball. Farnham is known for his defense, as I mentioned before, nicknamed Cottam and Sweep'em.
Well, I love these sweep shots there, and I want to see his Sweep'em side here. The left-hander sweeping it away. That's going to be a treat to my eyes.
That's really wide. Wouldn't have been surprised if the umpire Sullivan had called it wide 2 times.
Well, Farnham is. I just got half of the sweep from there. He's very calm, Farnham. He's playing a calm innings. He knows when he's gonna drag the game. He's gonna stretch up the game. They can win it there because they have the wickets in the hand and they still have the players who can hit hard. And that is why mentally they are very positive. That's a very friendly gesture, tying up the laces. Sportsman spirit. And yesterday in the media briefing, in the meeting, it was decided that it will be a Spirit of Cricket award as well at the end of the tournament.
Yes, there's a lot of emphasis that Mr. Sterling, the CEO of IMC, had put into that speech that he gave us, talking about playing in the spirit of the game. So much so they'll have an award. Runs here for Devendra Maharaj. They've come back for 2. But they have exactly what is required. I'm talking about the West Indies with the approach that they have. 90 for 3, and they've got some 7 overs remaining. Just keep your composure and keep going. I already alluded to what the Canadians needed to do that they did not do, which is take the catches, get the wickets.
And just look at that Karachi Gymkhana. Little children playing basketball here. Some multi-athletic sport complex, Karachi Gymkhana. They have a swimming pool there, a basketball court, and on the other side it's a paddle court. Peloton is much in the trend right now.
And they have that little track on the periphery of the ground itself. And so that people can come here and walk. I understand that the membership here is tremendous. You have to apply and wait a very long time. It's a private club. Lots of space. And people come out by their hundreds. We had dinner the other day. Saw a very large crowd coming out to support the club. Really well-run club. I admire this.
Karachi has multiple clubs like Karachi Gymkhana. There's a Muslim Gymkhana as well. It's a Karachi club as well. These all clubs, it takes a long time and it costs a lot as well to become a member. But once you become a member, you have the multiple sports facilities. You can find a good evening. Yeah, okay. So now this will surely clear the fence there. Devendra Maharaj. He just rotated a little bit of his posture and it just came onto the bat and he just struck it nicely. And it cleared the fence. That was... that was Farnham Lawrence. It was an exquisite hit.
Now this is too short, really too short. And as the game progresses, you're seeing the inadequacy of the bowling attack. The last 2 bowlers I'm seeing, they have been short pitching all the while. They don't have the pace to do that. And so you've got to be absolutely on target. 2 balls there short consecutively.
It was a lovely view of the sunset. Oh, that was a chance, and it was not pretty much a hard one.
That's a sitter. Once it hits your hand, now look at that. He didn't have to go very high. It just went inside and then outside again.
Oh, just look at the amount of turn. Well, they need to target these stumps more. They are not targeting the stumps. They are bowling away from the stumps, which is giving quite a bit room to the batters. That becomes a little bit ease for the skipper and Devinder Maharaj. Out of the 14, 97 for the loss of 3 wickets. Now, not much left for West Indies to fight. They just have to drag the game, be calm and composed, and they can ace it.
It's a home run. They're actually just around the corner from the 100. Beautiful ground. They've got at the National Stadium, I think it could have been a little more than 10 pitches. Lots of space. Where the boundary ropes are, you have maybe 40 feet more that you can extend. Lots of space. The National Stadium is a magnificent stadium. We had a practice match there.
And surely one of the largest stadiums in Karachi. Plays it down the ground there towards the mid-wicket. Fielder plays, and if I talk about the National Stadium, it is being rebuilt. And after this World Cup, there will be a little bit changes in the National Stadium as well. Because the backside of the ground, there's another ground, the National Stadium. It's a big area, which is covering as the heart of Karachi. Gulshan Iqbal.
That was a floater. And coming down the ground, Farnham he's not a big hitter. Could have ended up in some problems there. But coming down, picked up a run at least. The last practice match we had, stabbed into the offside, just a single. The last practice match we had there, I had a glimpse of the national girls team. There was a nice little ground, recreational ground. And so I had a look. They were pretty comfortable and composed. Now the West Indies, that's the 100 coming up for them. And in quite normal, easy circumstances. This has not been a battle for the West Indies. And I can recall distinctly I'd seen 3 catches put down. That's not good enough. It's not going to make you win.
3 catches put down and then bowling it away from the stumps, giving too much of room to the batters. This was a good delivery, although he was more delivering it away from the off stump. One more required. Just look at that. Once again, he is not challenging up the batter. He's not going with that aggressive mindset. It's just bowling away from the off stump. That it won't be just go for wide. They are okay with singles and doubles. They are not going for wickets, which is not a good mindset at this moment. If you're going to go for a fighting game, you just need to take the wickets. And that is what Canada is lacking. 15 gone, 103 for 3.
Yes, I think they've created a platform to make the chase by the West Indies a walk in the park. They've not been difficult to face up to, as you mentioned and alluded to. They have not been attacking that stump enough. Just 20 runs required from 30 balls. It might be a close difference between runs required and balls available. But these guys have got all the wickets almost standing. And so it's almost a walk in the park. That's why they're not in any way, the West Indians, in anxiety to win the game instantly. I think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah. When you have the wickets in hand, when you have the deliveries left, and you have a pretty much in control score, you don't need to hurry and just give away the match which you're already winning it. So it's a good and a very calm mindset, and That's a great leadership by Farnham Lawrence.
Another important thing to note, Fayaz, is that like the West Indies at the moment, it's good to get over the target too. Why? Because it can come down at the end of the tournament to a net run rate scenario. So you win it earlier, the better also. I think Farnham knows that. We've discussed that in the camp. So you keep gaining points and traction in the event there's a scenario where the net run rate comes into play.
And according to the net run rate, West Indies is playing quite a good and calm game because no, they already have the game in the hand, and now it's just like eating peanuts and enjoying the just cold weather and evening. It's a good thing. They're enjoying the sunset as well. So because of the catches being dropped, because of the non-aggressive bowling, and because of the lacking in the field, because there were a little bit of flaws in the field as well, that became a bit problem. And if I talk about the score, it was not much high. It wasn't an attacking one. Defending a total of 123 was already difficult, and then mistakes in the bowling and mistakes in the fielding. Just look at that. It was also kind of a mistake because he was not able to maintain his balance and wasn't able to grab it in the first attempt. He has to just roll after the ball.
Peeling off the bat. Devendra Maharaj going for the shot. Not getting entirely in position because the ball was wide of the off stump, and so it peeled off the bat. Picked up 2 runs there. So the West Indies look well set to take their first game. They've got some difficult ones coming up. They've got to play Australia. I think Pakistan is also in this group, so that makes it doubly difficult.
As you can look, the calmness in the camp of West Indies. The early shot. Oh, that's been put away. That's been put away. A drop once again. Just look at that. Not at this crucial moment. At least you could have fight for it. You are not fighting properly. You didn't fought for it. You just dropped it there, giving a chance. That will make you lose the match.
Yes, there are a few areas I think that the Canadians would have to just clean up the act. Fielding is one. They're bowling. And I guess they'll be going back in their rooms at the hotel later on, calculating, talking. That's what I see the West Indies are doing. They've been having their meetings all the while.
Yeah, and as you were talking earlier on, that you have to write the points where the mistake was being made, because that would have, if you're dropping the catch at the 5 and then after 5 overs, those become 55, that's going to haunt you. If you're giving the chances with your own hands, and if they're punishing you of it, so that is totally your fault.
As you can see, the body language of the Canadians just a little bit weary, a little bit exhausted, and there's not the spirit. I guess they're going to go back and talk. That's what you have to do, and just lift the spirit in the camp a little bit.
Well, cricket is, I think, more a mental game than a physical game. And if you're mentally very strong and if you're fighting till the end, if you're keeping the fighting spirit till the end, then you can do anything better. And if you're already mentally losing up the game, that means even though you perform well, still you're going to lose the game. Now 13 more required from 24. It's just like having peanuts.
And I guess it goes back also to your training to get that mind, as you mentioned, mentally strong. Many years ago, I was talking with a West Indian opening batsman, and he was telling me about the training programs that he has seen for the various countries. And based on what he told me, it seems as though, and I'm talking about the senior team, the Australians, they've got a training program that's very rigid and intensely strong. And this is why the Australians were always on top in Test cricket, that they can endure 5 days without getting exhausted mentally. It seems as though it's the first day for them on the 5th day. And of course, at that time, the West Indies as well, many countries across the world would have strong training programs, but I think Australia stands out.
Yeah, big shout there. No response by the umpire. Although you have to keep calm over your nerves, and if you have the control over your nerves, that makes you a better team. And if you're already have a mindset, you're not very calm, you're taking the pressure up, you're going to lose the game. The training is much required, not only the physical training, not only hitting sixes, bowling it quicker. No, you have to train the mind as well, because making these strategies and putting on calmness in your nerves and playing a game calmly, you have with positive body language, positive mindset. This is the cricket all about.
Down the ground, Farnham. He's just going to get a single there. But many of these players, we see them on screen. I'm talking about the big stage here. Virat Kohli is a typical example. This guy is a machine. He works very hard on his body, so he's physically ready, which you ought to be. And then the mental part comes in. He's on top of it.
And surely in every single pressure game, Virat Kohli has performed, and he's a match winner for India, always in the pressure game.
I don't know, Fayaz, I think the world, every era, the world sees a legend. Lara would have been for batting. Virat Kohli, indeed, is one of those persons in this era.
Yeah, surely. Undoubtedly, Virat Kohli is one of the legends and one of the best talents India has ever produced. And if I talk similarly about Sachin Tendulkar, he was also this kind of a player. And if I talk about the Pakistan side, Inzamamul Haq, he was also a good player, mentally very strong. And most of the bowlers say that it wasn't easy to take Inzamam out of the... Once again, he drops it. It was in the air for a long time. He got too much of time to come under the ball. Still, the same results.
I think at this format and age, many of these players disappear into thin air after the tournament concludes. I seem to get that impression with Canada and some other countries, like taking simple catches. Apparently, they're not spending a lot of time working on their cricket. Then you've got the winter season that they've got to deal with. They're all inside rather than outside on the field. So there are disadvantages, and it seems to me that a lot of time is not spent on their training, sharpening your skills, catching skills, running skills. These are things that they have to work on because they're not full-time. After this, they've gone into their holes, respective holes. Whereas the national team, for example, of every country, they've got continuity. So the authorities keep drilling them and training them, working on their fitness, mental and physical. You get a better production afterwards. So a lot of these guys, they don't get a lot of time behind this game. They come up every World Cup and say, hey, you're playing? Yeah, I'm playing. I hope you're playing too. Yes, I'm playing. You know.
Yeah, because training also costs a lot. It's expensive, and the cricket boards of every single state, every single country, they spent a lot on the trainings of the players. And if I talk about these players, as yesterday I was in the meeting after the media briefing, they said that mostly they play in the weekends. They're not continuously playing. So this shows the lackness, but at their time, when they used to play, when they were little more young. I won't say the 40 years you are becoming old. No, you are young at that age as well. But when they were a little more young, the practice at that time, it is working till today. That they are playing a big game, they're playing a World Cup, and it's so much of fitness.
Pulled away from outside the off stump. Let's see, this is going to go all the way. Yes, it does. I mean, I think that went to hand. I'd like to see the replay on that one. I think it went to hand.
Just slaps it away there. No, he couldn't reach to the ball. He was just close. Just opened his hand, but it didn't touch his hand there. 6 more required. And a big blow there. So that's over. Finishing off the game in a style, Captain Farnham. What a game. West Indies won by 7 wickets. And Farnham did it for his team, played the captain innings. And in this innings, he scored 48, a flawless 48. Caught him and sweep him, did the job.
Certainly. Good knock here from the West Indies. Good performance. I think the high point in the West Indies performance today is the steadiness. They were not taken away in their actions. They were quite stable and composed, as opposed to what I was seeing in the Canadian camp. I think there was, you mentioned the word, an element of fear. It seems at one point, the lack of aggression, that was another issue with them. Of course, their bowling was not pretty good. The batting was a little weak too. 123 runs giving the opposing team in the World Cup to make was not sufficient in any way, period. And so they scored too few runs, and then they gave away the catches, some bad feelings as well, and not such good bowling. So I think the West Indies outplayed them. Congratulations.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier on, they need to go to their hotels, they need to re-strategize it, they have to do the meetings on it, that how they can improve with it, and they have to take the markers on where the mistakes are being done, where there were problems, and because of those problems, the game just swept out. And now a 7-wicket win. So the batting summary: Leacock with 2 and Atwell and Farnham both on 47. Well, Atwell did it in 29 and he was bowled by early. And if I talk about Lawrence Farnham, what a game he has played, and not much of a wickets by Canada. Ali with 2 and Yunus with 1. A good economy, both economical bowlers 5.00, and if I talk about Ali with 5.50, 123 for the loss of 3 wickets and a 7-wicket victory. Congratulations to West Indies. What a game today. Very steady and too much of potential in the West Indies side. So now we're gonna move towards Nourish. She's there.
By the West Indies, now have with me the incredible skipper of West Indies, Lawrence Farnham with me, who scored an impactful 47 runs of 44 deliveries. And now with me, the man of the moment. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time. First of all, what was that knock?
You know, I think we didn't start very well in the tournament, had a few warm-up matches, and I think we knew our ability here in Pakistan. We've been in 2023, and I think we just needed to get used to the conditions and not beat ourselves up. So today was all about occupying the middle. We bowled really well, and then once we got in there, it's a small total, so it gives us an opportunity to just get ourselves in and just play to our abilities.
Yeah, you came one down, and you didn't. Initially, you couldn't get much support from the non-strikers end. It wasn't that Atwell was there; he was supporting. He was playing aggressively, and you were there to anchor the innings. However, after his wicket, what was the game plan? Did you have any change in the game plan, or what were you thinking when Atwell's wicket fell?
I think, it's T20 and you're always going to have game plans. And one of our strategies was trying to get our run rate up so we can start thinking about net run rate in the tournament. It didn't work today, but it will work the next time. But what is important is getting our boys down in the middle and getting a good knock, and the victory is good for us.
If there was anything you could do differently, analyzing today's match, what would that be?
I felt like, there's a lot of things that we can always improve. It's never a perfect game. We bowl really, really well, and we bowl to our plans. Towards the back end of the innings, I think we got a bit lackadaisical and something we can improve on. One of the things we struggled with was a start, and this time we got a really good start. So it shows as a team, we can do very well, and we are quite. You have different players who can play different roles, and it's just about using them at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that incredibly well executed as well. Going ahead, is there anything you would like to change with respect to your entire game plan, intent, or anything?
There's always going to be improvement. We'll go back. We'll have a chat in the dressing room. We just analyze the game, how it went. We'll see where we can improve, because there's always room for improvement. And we'll come back next time and play very well. This has always been a good hunting ground here at Karachi Gymkhana. We've got another game here tomorrow. So I think it gives us a little bit of advantage understanding the conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was the incredibly impactful skipper of West Indies for you. Over to you in the comms box.
So much Nourish. She was there with the captain, the skipper, Lawrence Farnham. What a game he has played today, and presentation is almost ready. We're going to go towards the presentation down there.
post-match presentation ceremony of match number 4 of the inaugural T20 World Cup 2025 organized by the IMC PVCA. And it was a match number 4. What an incredible match it was, played between the West Indies and Canada veterans, and West Indies veterans managed to win this all-important match by 7 wickets. Here at the presentation ceremony, I'm joined, the presentation party includes our chief guest, former President Akbar Iqbal Puri. And I have Masroor Mirza, N.N. Khalid, Jam Nafis, and Muhammad Hussain. So proceeding with the formalities, I would first like to announce the best bowler of the match. This is none other than Ali Faruqi from Canada. I would like to request Mr. Masroor Mirza Ahmed to hand him the best bowler of the match award. He's been absolutely scintillating with tremendous figures of 20. He just gave off 22 runs and bagged 2 wickets in 4 overs for Team Canada. Proceeding ahead, we now have the award for the best batter of today's match, and he's been none other than the incredible skipper of the West Indian side, who has played an exceptional, impactful knock of 47 of 44, none other than Lawrence Farnham. I'd like to request N.N. Khalid to please hand him over the best batter of the match award. Moving on, the moment of the presentation ceremony, is I'd like to invite Mr. Akbar Iqbal Puri to present the Man of the Match award to none other than the incredible Anthony Atwell from Team West Indies for his incredible all-rounded performance. He managed to score 47 runs. There was such an impactful score from him, and he also bagged 3 crucial wickets for the West Indian side, providing them with an early breakthrough. And now may I please request the captains of both the teams, captain of Team West Indies, Lawrence Farnham, to please come here at the presentation venue. We'd like to have a few words with you. Lawrence, wonderful win and a much needed win to start the mark for Team West Indies here in the tournament. First of all, I'd like to know what your initial game plan was and were you able to execute it to the fullest?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say congratulations to the guys. We stuck to our game plans. We wanted to bowl first initially. Our bowlers up front, the seamers really kept it really tight, build the pressure, and then our spinners came on with an incredible performance from Atwell. But all of the bowlers all together feeling we restricted the opposition to the total that was manageable for us.
Yeah, and we saw that you guys weren't taking it easy at any point in the game, even when you came in to bowl in the second inning, to bat in the second innings. We saw how you guys had it in your hands right from the start. So when the initial, you came 1 down and, after Atwell's wicket fell, how did you manage to, get back up and be that resilient?
I think we got an incredible bunch of lads out here. Everyone is capable of playing incredible T20 innings. And it's just getting our game plans together. In T20, the game can change in 1 or 2 overs. So our plan was to keep going and going all the time and try and get our net run rate up and put some momentum in the team, something that was much needed for us on this tour.
Yeah, you have a big win tomorrow here at Karachi Gymkhana. And going into that match, do you aim to change anything for that match? And what's the one key takeaway thing that you would like to move forward with?
I think we'll have to sit down in the dressing room, go back our plans, reassess how we did, and then we look at the conditions tomorrow and make some decisions. But so far, just want the guys to go and take some rest, enjoy the win, and then we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, that's indeed an incredible plan. Congratulations on the win. Thank you so much for your time. Now, I would like to request the skipper of Team Canada, Mohammad Rizwan, to please grace us with his occasion so we could have a word with him. First of all, and I know it wasn't your day, but overall we saw that even though you guys did not have a pleasant start, even though you did win the toss, but you did not have a pleasant start, but you were still able to make it to the 122 mark. So where do you think you kind of did not go well?
Well, at the beginning, first 4 overs with the 4 runs. There's a lot of dot balls, so that's where the beginning that we should have scored more runs. So we are short about 20 to 30 runs. That's where's the fault. And congratulations for West Indies for winning this.
If there was one thing that you could do differently, just one thing that you could do differently in today's match, what would that be?
Go hard at first 6 overs and then catches win matches.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the memento about it. How was the support? How was the pitch looking for you in the match?
Pitch is great. It looks great. It's a batting paradise, and spinners, and also is a spinners game too.
Absolutely. So going forward, finally, what changes would you like to make in the squad, if any, going forward in your next matches?
Well, we're gonna have to sit and talk about it, and definitely there's gonna be a couple of changes upcoming games.
Well, we wish you the best of luck for the remaining matches. Thank you so much. And well, as they say, cricket is a gentleman's game. I would now like to invite the manager and coach of Team Canada, Mr. Javed Khan, who has a significant and symbolic act to present us with. He has some symbolic mementos to present from Team Canada to the umpires and everyone involved in today's match.
Thank you very much. We always appreciate the umpires and the groundsmen, and I know there's a lot of work to do it, so we'd like to appreciate and offer our gift to them. So I would like to invite the both umpire and the third umpire.
Yeah, so it's a significant moment here, and it signifies that cricket is indeed a gentleman's game. That's the beauty of cricket. That's a memento from Team Canada to the on-field umpires and the third umpire, as well as the groundsmen, without the efforts of whom none of this would have been possible.
The man of the match, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Javed. And yeah, well, it has indeed been an action-packed day here at the Karachi Gymkhana, and I would now like to call the man of the match, Mr. Atwell here, who will be receiving the memento from Team Canada as well. This is cricket, and this is why cricket tops it all. Where it's been an action-packed day, and the good news is that it's only the beginning, as it was the first day of the IMC Over-40s T20 World Cup 2025. But for now, that is it from the presentation downstairs. We would be back with more action tomorrow.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you.